Welcome to another exciting edition of the Collar Nation Radio Show. I'm the Collar Rumble. Tonight, welcome. Happy Ramadan, happy Shnagalaga, happy Abidi Faundie, Jambo, what's up? What up, mine? And all those good stuff, because this is the College Genesis. Now, when you have topics like 500 years of looting, in chaos, in disenfranchisement, it's going down tonight. You know it's going to get hot and heated in here tonight. You know tempers are going to be flared, passions will be raised, and emotions will be flying high. So stop what you're doing, go tell a friend, tell somebody, like, share, subscribe. Come on, you know what's the right thing to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell somebody that the College Genesis is on tonight. Because I'm overseas, so I can't do shows every night. Because it's just too tiring. Over here and doing shows. So I try to keep up with my audience and everything like that while I'm gone. But yeah, so I'm entering my third week here in Liberia, having a good time. Not as fun as I used to have. Maybe that's because I've been here so many times. Maybe I need another country to go to. I know everything about this country. I know ins and out. Love it and everything like that. But sometimes it feels like I just went around my block. But I know this country so well, like the back of my hand. Know the culture. I know everything like that. So no new surprises anymore. The foods, everything like that. The lingo. So when people like Elvis tell me, "Oh, you got to get in tune with the culture, Colin." And I am all up Liberia shit. I know the Colloquy, whatever it is, I'm here, and people know that I'm here and they know I'm here. What's up, Rico Miller? And so the bottom line, we're going to have a good show tonight, a real shocking show. I got a lot to say tonight, and I'm going to say some things that's going to offend everybody. Let's see. Now, who should I pick on tonight? Should it be FBA or should it be the Ooga Boogers? You know, going once, going twice. FBAs or Ooga Boogers? Who should I mess with tonight? Should I mess with the Ooga Boogers on Africa or should I make the FBA ghetto thug trash or not? Who should I pick on tonight? Man, maybe I won't pick on either one. Maybe I'll show some more empathy tonight, and everything like that. To my FBA ghetto people and to my Africa Ooga Boogers. We're gonna have a good time tonight, man. I'm gonna show love tonight. Show love and compassion. That's what I think. Love and compassion, we need more of. Not as much hate in the world. We got less hate in the world. Yeah, so a lot going on. Donald Trump is really fucked up with this Iran war. There's no way out. The Straits of Hormuz. I don't think the people honest with you, right? How do you make an amateur move like that? That strategic area, the Strait of Hormuz. If you weren't going to take that first, how the hell are you going to wage a war against Iran when they got the Strait of Hormuz? Most of the world's oil supply come through there. America might go through a gas. We're already feeling the effects of a gas shortage here in Liberia. Gas is rationed here almost. Because the gas prices are up because there's a shortage of gas here. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Ghana claiming Michael B. Jordan. The fun never ends. The fun never ends. I mean, what gets me is I was watching the Oscars, right? Live. I don't know how I got it. I think I don't know. I think it was on the channel or something like that. I don't know how I got it. I was watching the show live, right? And when got his acceptance thing, when he said, "My father flew in from God," I said, "Oh man, why the fuck did he say that?" I knew the Ooga Boogers were gonna jump all over that and be like, "Yeah," but let me tell you something, folks. And we just have to have a straight and honest conversation with African brothers and sisters. Y'all got Africans, they gotta let us go. They really gotta stop obsessing over us. You know, it's Black America worship with these people. They worship Black America, you know. For example, Ghana had this post going out now. Some Ghanaian talk about Ghana's now the number one destination in the world for diaspora and African Americans. But no, it's not. In fact, Africa and my family travels all over the world, and most of them never been to Africa before, right? They travel to fucking Thailand, they travel to Greenland, they travel to Ireland, they travel to Italy, they go to Rome, they go to all these places, Cancun, Brazil. My family's well traveled. My cousins, everybody, well traveled, right? So when you got these Ghanaians, African American, no, we're not. Fuck, we're not. And then when you do see black people from the West, they consider what happens is Ghanaians do this. Anybody coming from the United States, they just label them as African American because there's some sort of prestige in saying that somebody from the industrialized, highly industrialized world chose to live in your country. That's prestige. Now, Michael B. Jordan's father has money, obviously, worth millions of dollars. A lot of times when people get older, they want to go to Ghana for a sense of peace, of community, and everything like that. But I think that's going to change as people see the ramifications of what that means. Nobody, right. Yeah, I saw that the Somali immigrants now have hijacked the civil rights movement, saying this is our movement now. And like I said, but I blame the FBA people, because in America, if America is your end game, right, and white people hold the gate and the keys to the door, it's up to them who they let in. White people could start printing tomorrow. Oh yeah, proud Ghanaian, Michael B. Jordan. And not a damn thing you can do about it. Guess what? Michael B. Jordan becomes a Ghanaian. They're already calling Elon Musk an African American. Why not? See, when you don't have agency or control over your life, that's why I say the only future is a nation of our own. Then that can't be disputed. That land or identity, that land that we own can't be disputed. But as long as you're a minority group in a country where somebody else defines you, you could be whatever you want. Elon Musk is now an African American. The Somalis are now African Americans or Black Americans. They're now singing "We Shall Overcome" and all stuff like that. Anybody could take what you did. Look at the friggin' the Koreans did with the BT, whatever it is, where the Koreans couldn't go to a white institution, so Howard University, HBCU set them in, but they get ready to commemorate that, right? But they made the Howard University a white institution. It's just disrespect. What do you expect? What do you expect being a minority group in a racist country? Nobody's going to respect you. They erase your history right in front of you. The Koreans basically were always thankful because a lot of Chinese and all immigrants could not go to white institutions. They had to go to Black institutions. And so instead of honoring that give us credit for accepting them in and educating their people with higher education, they're going to whitewash it and make it seem like they went to a white institution. Give the credit of Howard University to white people. There's no end to this. So with that being said, and then you got Ghanaians claiming Michael B. Jordan. It's like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, I knew he was a Ghanaian. There's nothing, when you look at Michael B. Jordan, there's nothing Ghanaian about this guy. That is a 100% Black American man. And his looks, his phenotype, his skin color, his hair, everything like that swims of African American, Black American. And so it's what it is. A lot of these people just want to be us. It's just sad that these people don't love themselves, right? They should be boosting up their own Ghanaian actors and whatnot. Maybe one of these days a Ghanaian actor or a Nigerian actor could win an Oscar for his own works. But they want to tether themselves to everything we do. They want to ride along Black America's greatness. And then at the same time, I wouldn't even say nothing, right? And only because you hear stuff like, when I came to America, my parents gave me the talk. These would be grown ass people, right? Whoever listens to anything your parents tell you, I sure the fuck didn't. When I was like 15, I stopped listening to my parents. I thought they said a lot of stupid shit. But these motherfuckers be like, I went to America at 23 years old. My parents told me, you're a grown ass fucking person. See how the African mind thinks like a child? He's forever a child. Your parents told you something at the age of 24, 25 about Black Americans. They never been here, don't know nothing about us. So and then I don't know if they're lying on their parents or not, but they always put their chest out like, I was told to stay away from Black Americans and whatnot. Okay, then why the fuck do you guys always come into our colleges? Oh, that's a lie, Mansa. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. Africans are obsessed with Black America. We can't keep us out of their fucking mouth. You know, they're fucking obsessed with Black America. They want to be us. That's all it is. That's it in a nutshell. And there's nothing wrong with being African. I'm in Africa right now. There's nothing wrong with being African. I was with Africans. There's this video going around on TikTok where this Nigerian girl wore her hair natural. And her whole job, everybody threatened to fire her and whatnot for wearing her hair natural. She goes, I just want my hair on natural. This is my natural look. It don't look appropriate. Don't look good. You got to straighten your hair with that. In Africa, you know? It's like, I don't know why the African does not love himself, in his natural state. So, and so, like I said, the girl, Zongo's like, oh man, she should. There's nothing wrong with that girl's hair. But it's a little cute little hairstyle she had. A little cute little hairstyle, natural hairstyle. It looked good on her. And these motherfuckers, the boss said, you better like this. I don't know. Speaking English, wearing our clothes, wearing our stuff like this, everything like they say. You look at your music and everything, like the videos. You can't, when you look at it from outside, you can't tell whether you're watching a rap video or Afrobeats video. Let's be honest with you. They don't look freaking traditional African to me. I know what African dance and clothes look like. I'm in Africa, right? I know, like I said, when I'm here, all the kids are here in Liberia. They wear Jordans. They wear Kenneth Cole. They got FUBU on, stuff like that. I don't know, man. So you tell me. Yeah, our language is English. Yeah, our language is English. But yeah, so it is what it is. But I don't want to dwell on this stupid shit. Stupid shit enough. You know, it's like I wouldn't even had no problem with this, right? But people hear all this time that, oh, why are they fucking trying to claim Michael B. Jordan now? Why? You know, why are they trying to learn? Why they claim Michael B. Jordan? Why are they claiming Michael B. Jordan? Why are they coming here? Oh, Michael B. Jordan's one of us now. But no, the fuck he's not. Let Black America have their little shine, man. That was Black American culture that produced sinners. And that was the epitome of hard work, years that we made it to that level, because that was up against a lot of fierce competition. I thought that I forgot how fierce the competition the Oscars is. I still think they should have got Best Picture. Sinners should have got Best Picture, right? But they did win 4 Academy Awards. That's not bad, out of 16. That's not bad, But they was up against a lot of things, and I'm so shocked that Delroy Lindo didn't win Best Supporting Actor. They should have got that, But evidently, whoever decided that, I really trust the judgment of these people when they make these decisions. So the fact that Michael B. Jordan got the Best Actor, man, I mean, that was just for a generation. And Michael B. Jordan's a generation after me. He's a millennial, but I was just so proud of that young man. Up there at the top of his game. He was able to tell his parents there. He could see Michael B. Jordan. What I like about him is what he eludes. He eludes the type of background I come from, middle income, middle class black America, and his movies are not centered around the damn hood. I can't stand that shit. I like his Creed movies, right? The settings of his movies is so beautiful. You know, that means Michael B. Jordan proved that you could be cool, but you don't have to be fucking hood and ghetto and rank and all stupid shit. You know, he's that is just such a friggin' victory. That is such a. I am just so proud of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, those two young brothers, man. I am just so proud of them. So let us have our little moment, Black America. And then they bring Shabuzi up on stage. What the fuck, Why the fuck you're doing Sinners. And the song is I Live Like, that we are song, that they sung in Sinners. And then you got this Nigerian gets up there and starts, what the hell? It was just like, dude, go a fucking way. Give us a minute to ourselves. Give us time for ourselves to celebrate something without everybody coming in and just annoying. Really is. I want to see the Africans shine on their own, shine on their own. When they get up there and they get their awards, whatever like that, in Nollywood, we don't go crashing in Nollywood and shit like that. They got the Nollywood, you should have their own Nollywood awards and stuff. But yeah, so that was it. And like I said, and I am Pan-Africanism, uh, pro Pan, but like I said, you have to get to the point where both groups of people have to bring something to the table as equals. It can't be all us. Everybody else comes and eat. You got to bring something to the table. You know, how do I want to see Africa shine? I do want to see Africa shining on its own. I want to see Africa shining on its own. I would look. There's so many beautiful African actresses they have a whole culture. They have a whole history. There's so much history in Africa that's not being told. I wrote many stories on African history. Africa has a beautiful history. You know, but you don't see Africans taking pride in their history. And writing stories. It's going to take Ryan Coogler to make Mansa Musa. That should be an African guy doing that. We got to do every fucking thing. It's like, damn, or I want Africans to shine. I want Africans to shine, man, but get up and do something. Shit. I was watching this video going around, and the reason why I thought about this title tonight, right? Like I am like really hurt. Mensa, maybe it might be the answer. You know, but I see that right now the hatred between the two groups is growing. I don't know. I don't see any way out of it. I just don't. And I say for this, we didn't start this shit. We didn't start it. Because we were calling ourselves African American. We were trying to go to the continent or Wakanda, Zamunda. We had a thing, but we were rejected by Africans. And that's what the backlash is right now. Right now, what you see is a backlash. You know, Africans started it. That's what they wanted. They got on social media talking all kinds of shit about us, black people. So Black Americans, look, Manson. Most black people in America don't know you exist. Really, most black people in America don't know you exist. They don't know what a Mansa is. They couldn't tell you. They don't know where Mali is. They don't know where Nigeria is. They don't know anything about the continent. Less than 10% of us know. I know the continent. 7. I've been studying Africa for years. Most black people in America know nothing about Africa. Absolutely nothing. Until I Show Speed came around and showed something. Oh, okay. Most African and black people in America didn't know Africa have modern cities. So those of us who are involved in Africa, we're the ones who are getting attacked. I am in Africa right now, because I love this place. I love being here. I love being around African culture. Yeah. Most Africans don't know their own culture, history. They don't know shit. Every book I read on Africa was not written by Africans, it was written by African Americans. Every history is written by white people like Basil Davidson or African Americans like the McKinsey family, who wrote a lot of African, and Joanza Kunjufu and other people like that I've studied under. I've never read a book by an African. I think that Shea Anthony Diop, that's probably the only one that I read on African history. Other than that, most of the scholars and everything like that have been from the West. I was watching this video. I was gonna play it, but my computer's been crashing over here every time I play a video, so I'm not gonna do it. I had no idea um, how much of the net worth some of these politicians in Africa have. I had no idea, and I am really hurt and shocked to find out that even my hero, idol Paul Kagame, is worth $5 billion. Maybe it's, I don't know. Some people say that's all a lot. I don't know. But I know and Cyril Ramaphosa is worth that. He's worth like. Well, let me play the video. Let me play the video. Let me watch the video, and I can tell you. We've been on the list. It says William Roboto, 220 million. Omis Rocco, Kenya, 280 million. Diasa Juma, 350 million. Nigeria. Joseph Senaher, South Africa, 400 million. Johnson Mathuma, oh, Kenya, 400 million. Uh, Ghana, somebody named last name Atta, 455 million. Uji Uzo Katu, Nigeria, 500 million. These are all politicians, folks. Miss Moses uh, Wangalia, Kenya, 500 million. Get this, Julius Malema, $550 million. Julius Malema is where I am like, that just really blew my mind. Julius Malema, who I'm defending all the time. Uh, Roches Okoroka, Nigeria, 600 million. Karatu Amorin, 600 million. Oh, look, Nana Kofi Adu. Remember the one that freaking Trump was rich in real estate before he got into office. You know, these people come from poor countries. America's economy is $34 trillion a year. Of course, we're gonna have billionaires, but these are countries that are desperately poor, people living on $1 a day. This is a fucking problem. You Africans, the reason why you're here in America and you're not enjoying your country because you guys are a bunch of fucking savages. You know, all you gotta do is defend bullshit. You can't compare Donald Trump to goddamn all these people. These people looting your country. Ghana, look, Nigeria is what's up, Dark Migo? How's Trump a scammer? How's Trump a scammer? He made his billions of dollars. He don't have to do this. He spent his own money running for office. As I said, I can't listen to what a fucking ooga booga savage got to say. And I'm not no fan of Donald Trump, but I'm just putting it like it is. You cannot defend African leaders. The African politicians are not rich outside. That's how they go into politics just to get rich. Yeah, they go into politics just to get rich. And they come out. I'm shocked. Paul Kagame, you know, Paul Kagame, who I've admired and whatnot. Most of these people, most of the African politicians, when you look at them talk and whatnot, speak, they ain't got much. They got grade school education. How they got all this money when they got great because they're corrupt. Lee Kuan Yew once said, "Africa will never be free. Will always be third world because of corruption." You know, no, Trump was a real estate mogul. At age of 28, rebuilt a hotel next to Grand Central Station at 28 years old. He was given like a $300 million project at 28 years old, and was a developer at 28 years old. Did a major project like that. Right, a hotel right out. He revitalized a hotel right outside of Grand Central Station in New York City. He built the friggin' thing. We're the Black American politicians. We don't have a lot of Black American politicians, thank God. We got billionaires in Black America that don't have to do in politics. Robert Smith and David Stewart are billionaires, certified billionaires, and they're not into politics. Our first billionaire in Black America was Reginald Lewis. He had a hedge fund company and an equity company called Beatrice Holdings. He made $1 billion in 1987, the world's first Black billionaire. We don't need to get into politics and loot the country to get rich. But let me continue. Nana Addo, that's what you call her, Lewis's boy, former president of Ghana, $700 million. Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, $730 million. All right. Laurent Gbagbo, I used to like him. Gbagbo, he's the one they disposed. Remember a couple of years back? He's worth $740 million, Gbagbo. I was like, wow, man, I thought he was a good guy. Goddamn. Mike Sonko, Kenya, $750 million. Aku Abubakar, Nigeria, $800 million, Haruna Adurasaru, Ghana, $805 million. Thabo Mbeki, former president of South Africa, $810 million. In these countries where people live on $1 a day and live in abstract poverty. Last week, the Chinese government says the Nigerian government owes it $11 million, or it's going to shut down its telecommunications system. $11 million. Now, if you got all these billionaires and everything like that, how come somebody can't cut these people a check? Wow, man, wow. But you do your own research how they make their money. We made our money. What you call it? Look up David Stewart. Worldwide Technologies. People are freaking stupid. Africans are dumb, man. You're the fucking dumbest people on the planet. Thabo Mbeki, $810 million. David Mark, Nigeria, $820 million. Macky Sall, Senegal, a poor country like Senegal, $850 million. Somebody named Moy, I guess he's President Moy, former President Moy's son, $870 million. It's a joke. You go into politics just to get rich. And this is why the continent is not developed. Bakuzo Sakari, Nigeria, $900 million. Now we're about to hit the $1 billion mark. Let's see who's a billionaire. Herman Mashaba, $900 million, South Africa. Andy Adu, Nigeria, 1.0 billion dollars. Quimba Darfur, Ghana, $1 billion. Ralu Oginga, Kenya, $1 billion. These are all politicians, folks. You know, Trump has not made money in politics. Trump had money before he got into politics. You moron. You know, Tokyo, the whole skyline of Manhattan was built by Donald Trump. You know, Tokyo, Sexwale, $1.1 billion, South Africa. Kais Said, Tunisia, 1.2 billion. You know, former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, $1.3 billion. Now, Zuma only has a third grade education. Now, a poor country like Chad, right? The country of Chad, a politician named Mahatma Debi, $1.5 billion. Another one from Chad, Abraham Baba. These are underdeveloped countries. 1.5 because the uranium, oil, and stuff like that. So and we don't need fucking black American politicians in the country. We're Americans. We don't need fucking black American politicians. Fucking jackass. Ibrahim Babangida, $1.5 billion. Chad. Museveni of Uganda, $1.8 billion. Buhari of Nigeria, the late president. He's worth $2 billion. That was the late president. King Kiswahili, a little tiny country. The country is about the size of your neighborhood. $2 billion. Eritrea, Iser Everett, $2 billion. Algeria, 2.8 billion. Wow, this is just phenomenal. Paul Beer, we don't even know if this guy's alive. He's like 90 years old. $3.2 billion. Paul Beer of Cameroon, $3.2 billion. And he's never even in his own country. So, like I said, it's a joke, and you wonder why Africa is what it is, why all these fucking refugees are, instead of building in a country, they're in my chat room right now arguing with me. Kwame Ado, Ghana, $3.3 billion. Wow, Kenya, William Ruto, who just recently gave France the green right to open troops up in Kenya, and also given tracts of land to Israel to build their own state in Kenya. He's worth $4.2 billion. You understand what we talk about when we talk about race traders, 500 years of looting and disenfranchisement? 500 years, nothing's changed, not a damn thing's changed. So miss me with this Pan-African bullshit. Patrice Talon, Benin, 4.5 billion. Cyril Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa. Look, Rudy, nobody here is interested in your fucking corrupt ass fucking content. Please tell it to somebody else. Cyril Ramaphosa, $5.0 billion. The president of South Africa. I remember Cyril Ramaphosa, he was an ANC Secretary General. Man, he was Ebony Magazine interviewed him back in the days. He was a young man. Cyril Ramaphosa. Then, right after Mandela got elected, he sort of disappeared. And then, like 10 years later, he reemerged as a billionaire. How you gonna go from being a secretary, field secretary for the ANC, to a billionaire in less than 10 years? Was he that smart? No. It's simple, corrupt. You know? And the bottom line is this: Africa is not free. It's not a free continent. It's not a free continent. The same forces that allowed people, millions of people, to be trafficked across the seas against their will, the same power structure in Africa that allowed all the chaos, corruption, slavery, and everything that still exists. The same mentality still exists. You know, the only thing that's going to bring this down is Armageddon. Till there's actually a war in Africa, blood is flowing through the streets of Africa, and Africa could quench the African soil could drink of the thirst for the race traders and the people like that. Africa is never going to be free. Until Africa spills blood, it's never going to be free. There's an old saying, the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants every once in a while. Africa's bloody tyrants. That's all these people are, tyrants, right? Blood has to be spilt on the ground. These people have to die. I'm sorry. You know, because that's how entrenched this is. They have absolutely no fear of the people. No fear whatsoever. They fear the fact that they fear Europeans and Chinese more than they do the average black person or African person as a problem. They have absolutely no fear of the people, no consequences whatsoever. Let's see what else is here. Uhuru Kenyatta. I thought he was a good guy. $5.4 billion he's worth. These are all politicians. The hell you do in politics that you can make that much money on a fucking in a poor country? Country can't even pay its bills. Paul Kagame, $5.6 billion. That's somebody I like too. Equatorial Guinea president, $6 billion. You know, Bashar of Sudan, $6.5 billion. Gabon's president, Bongo, $7 billion. Wow. Tinubu of Nigeria, I had no idea, $8.5 billion. The king of Morocco, he's worth $10 billion. There you have it. There you have it. That's what you have, folks. That is what you have. You want to know why? And what you call this? This like I wrote the other night. Africa's external debt is $700 billion. That's how much Africa owes before it can start making money to develop. You know, other than that, African countries are going to go into receivership. You know, to get rid of this receivership, Kenya's already given land to Africa's being recolonized, going to be recolonized. There's obviously with nothing we can do. It's about colonialism. The white man's walking in, taking Africa like he would take candy from a baby. There's not a damn thing we can do. You got the strongest black people here in America. We're disenfranchised. We have no land, no guns, no nothing. We are organized politically, diplomatically, and everything like that. And then you got these corrupt Africans on the continent. So it is what it is, you know. It is. Baruti. I just read all that. Here's Baruti with African country has some component of it. Shut up. That's the reality is you got corrupt people on the continent. That's what it is. I mean, geez, if the president of Nigeria is worth $8.5 billion, you tell me he couldn't put out $11 million and cut that for to pay the bills for his country? Say, hey, look, I got this. I got this. I know we have a budget shortfall, but $11 million, man, I'll cut you a check. I don't know a whole lot, folks. I don't know, but that's what we have. 500 years of looting and chaos. There hasn't been a era of peace yet. Europeans had their manifest destiny. They had a time where they wrote the U.S. Constitution and charted out their manifest destiny across the continent, right? They conquered the world. They did all the stuff like that. They had global mercantile trade synchronized and everything. The black man has been on the defense and on the run for 500 years. You know, either we're fighting with each other over stupidity and mediocrity, or we're just on the run or living in somebody else's country trying to look big. We have never gotten our place in the world. One second, folks. All right, I'm back. Yeah, but the bottom line is black people in America, we actually, I don't know about the crumbs inside, we actually contribute to the building of America, right? There will be no Detroit without black America. There'll be no Chicago, Gary, Indiana, Pittsburgh Steel, and whatnot. We play a key role in creating the America you see. So we're not living off the crumbs of white America. That's an overstatement. We actually contributed to the building of the country. You know, white society benefits from the crumbs of our they take in way more money from us than we do from them. Most of Black America's wealth goes back into them, so they're living off of us. But nice try, Crenshaw, Grinder. Nice try. I know we people always want to try to make Africans feel better about themselves. That's why I just came to the conclusion. Hey, look, whatever's gonna happen, happen. There's this guy called Keith something. I forgot his name is. He's going really going at Tariq over this FBA thing because this FBA thing is starting to cause a problem to like a lot of people who do business on the continent and stuff like that. I heard Professor Smalls, he was messing around with this FBA shit, right? Professor Smalls, to be somebody in his 80s, he don't seem like very smart. Anytime when you hear me talk on that, I'm always announcing FBA because let me be frank with you. I was watching an FBA guy the other day, yesterday actually, and he's going off about Ghanaians claiming Michael B. Jordan. But nothing wrong with that. Okay, Black Americans should have their own spot, right? But then he proceeds, they always do this, talking about he has a book out talking about this whites who back up the claim that black people are already here in America, that we didn't come from Africa and all that. That's what the FBA is. Don't be fooled. You know, that what you call what you call, look, bro, like this. We had banks, insurance companies, and everything for 200 years in America. We had banks back in the 1800s, bro. What are you talking about? We produced millionaires during slavery times. Yeah, whole cities like Baltimore, Yeah, back in the days, even in the 1800s, you had black millionaires. Africans don't have banks in America, bro. You know, we know who has the banks. You can't go say, "Oh, First African Savings Bank over there." Okay, really? And it's always this notion: why did Africans feel like they got to compete with us? It's like, dude, man, do your thing, man. Oh, we got back. We African. We don't care what the fuck you got. What the fuck y'all don't get it to your heads? I'm sick of hearing about it. We're doing our own fucking thing, man. We don't care about what you people got. You know, you can't do nothing without you motherfuckers showing up. Oh, include us, include us. Like this guy, Shibushi, man. That was just so fucking embarrassing. Dude, man, why are you showing up to something in Black America? Uh, Michael G. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, their Oscar win. Why the fuck does he got to bring his Nigerian ass up there? What do we got in common? Nothing. You know. So, like, we don't need to build an electrical plant. We're not fucking in a country of our own. We're citizens of America. But I tell you one thing, I guarantee you one thing: we consume more electricity than the whole entire African continent combined. That's the one thing we do have. Look at how many megawatts and kilowatts we consume on a daily basis. Then look at what you consume in Africa. It's not even a comparison. You know, Africans have the lowest consumption of electricity on the damn planet. It doesn't matter if we built it; it's built in America. We don't have to build anything in America. We're part of this country. You guys don't fucking understand that shit. You guys need to go build your countries up that you got. This is our country over here. You guys always compared us with this back and forth between Black America. I don't really care. God damn, go away. Go the fuck away. You know, what part of when people say they don't want nothing to do with you, man? Don't you fucking understand that shit? Now, Brewery says, Colin, you are. Look, bottom line is this. Why don't you take that fucking philosophy and go to Julius Malema, who's worth $500 million, and ask him to give you some money, whatever like that? Can I go to any one of these fucking people looting the continent and say, look, I need $10 million to do something? No, I can't. So miss me with all that bullshit, Baruti. All that shit sounds good to people who ain't got no money. You ain't got no money, Baruti. So all your freaking Ubuntu, Wewe, whatever it is, that sounds good. Okay, look. If you don't want nothing to do with Black Americans, why are you on my show? Don't you understand that? I don't understand the logic in that. You know, if you don't want nothing to do with Black Americans, why don't you log off from my show? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you commenting on my show? The dumbest thing I ever heard in my fucking life, man. Oh, we don't want to do new Black Americans. They can't stay off our platforms. They can't stay out of our face. Go away. Go far away. We don't care. Shit. We don't care what you do. You can go to hell for all we care. You know, that's a little harsh, but damn, that's the way we feel about it. Go fucking away. People are fucking a disease. I'm not talking about Africans. I'm talking about my African heritage, my continent. I'm talking about you people. I don't know what's going on with you people. And you guys got to figure your own problems out. Well, actually, I'm a person of Black African descent. I can talk about Africa all I want. You know, if you don't like what I say, you can always log off from me and don't listen to what I got to say. It's very simple as that. I ain't asking nobody to listen to me. If I know somebody that talks shit about Black America, like I don't go to Afro Dumbass's show because I don't like what he's got to say. So I don't care what he has to say. So I don't listen to what his show has to say. I don't listen to anybody who got something to say. I'm not. Look. I'm an American. I'm proud of it. I am proud of it. I'm proud of it. Ain't nothing to be ashamed about. I see an awful lot of Africans want to come over here. You know, I was at the friggin' embassy, right? A couple weeks ago when I first got here, about 2 weeks ago. When I first got here in Liberia, and I went over there, and it said, "Okay, the American government is having a town hall with its citizens and residents." So I'm standing online, right? And I'm seeing that all these people here, none of them was fucking American. These were all Africans, right? These are all bringing people from Liberia, Senegal, all these people with U.S. passports. I'm like, shit, man. I'm like, goddamn. I thought when I saw America, I thought I was gonna see some Black Americans there, some white people there, some whatever like that. It was all Africans with U.S. passports. Like, goddamn. Like, don't Africans love their own passport? You ain't proud to be a citizen of Gambia or Senegal or Ivory Coast and all these other things. Everybody's like, oh, they were just so proud. I'm an American passport when I barely speak English when I got an American passport when I'm sitting there like, but lo and behold, they didn't let me in because there's too many people. I signed up late. And I'm saying to myself, this meeting is supposed to be about people like me, it's supposed to be about me. I'm an American national, real American national, right? And I couldn't get in because you got Africans now. They all got passports, they got U.S. passports. How they get them, I don't know. But I'm like, shit, man, nobody wants to be a fucking African no more. Nobody wants to carry an African passport. Like, damn, you know. Now I did there was a thing. I was like, I had to tell the lady, said, look, I'm actually an American. I told her, look, I'm actually an American. I'm not one of these people that got citizenship, whatever like that, living in Liberia with a U.S. passport, whatever. I am an American. I'm here on vacation. I tell her that. I was too late for it because I couldn't get in. I said, all these people getting in and whatnot. I thought they were going to give us special reminders. This was going on in Maryland. This was going on in Virginia. Blah blah blah. You could have Q&A because questions I wanted to ask. Living here, whatnot, we safe, whatever like that. You're supposed to always check in. That's one thing you always do when you go to Africa. You know. One thing you always do when you go to any country, not just Africa, is you always check in with the U.S. embassy there. You know, don't play around with that. Don't play around with that. Always check in with your country's embassy. Let them know you're there in the country. Give them your address and whatever like that. If you need get in trouble, whatever like that, you got a number to call. If you get arrested, whatever like that, you get sick, whatever like that, you contact your consulate and your embassy. That's how you do it. A lot of people go over to Africa. Oh, I'm home as a home, and these people end up getting in trouble. So you're still dealing with a foreign state, and I'm an American national. Much as I pretty much assimilated into Liberian society, I'm still an American. And I never forget that. No, no, Rudy, I'm actually a fucking American. I hate to tell you that, but I'm an American. You know, I'm an American of Black African heritage. But I'm an American. Funny, I check in because I'm an American, not because I'm a stranger. I've been in Liberia so many times. I know this country like the back of my hands. My wife's here. I have a house here. You know, so. But I'm an American. I'm an American. I don't think that's an insult. I take pride. I'm an American. So is Michael B. Jordan. So is Magic Johnson. So is Muhammad Ali. So is Malcolm X. All these are great Americans, Rudy. And I'm proud to be part of the team. I'm telling people it's all right. You can be an American, fine. But one thing I won't do is deny where my roots come from. I'm a person of black sub-Saharan African. My ancestors came 400 years ago from the northern part of Angola, the southern part of Congo, Zambia. That's where most of my ancestors come from. You know, simple as that. Now, over the years of 400 years, 500 years in the New World, I became something else. I became an American, but I'm still a Black African American. And yes, my nationality is an American. I tell people all the time, they say, "What are you?" I'm an American. And I'll say I'm Black American. I don't say I'm African American. I'd say I'm an American. That's where I'm from. And it's obvious that I'm fucking black. The fuck I don't need to say I'm fucking black, you know? So what do you care about what I ask for land for, So butthurt. What you ask for land in Europe or not, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, this mama Duka Boomba Shakalaka, these are the type of black people that's a fucking problem, the type of Africans that are a problem, these African tribalists, they're a bunch of fucking fools. And they wonder why so many black people in America hate them so much. Mama Duba Boom Shakalaka Boom Shakalaka Boom Shakalaka. Most of my DNA, about 80%, 83% of my DNA is from sub-Saharan Africa. So that's what I am. You know. No, in America, no, let me tell you something, break it down to you, Rudy. There's three Americans. There's one, the first American was the Native American. Then you had the Anglo American, those were the settlers from Europe, right? And then you have the African America brought to America as slaves. Those are the three Americas, three cultures of America. You have the native, you have the European, and you have the African. Those three people, those trifecta, is what makes America. You fit into one of those three groups. You have the Europeans, the Anglo Saxons, everybody came in and tried to be Anglo Saxons. Black America, what we call African Americans, are the dominant group in America. We represent the black race in America. There's white settlers, there's native indigenous people, and there's also Africans who were brought here as slaves. They're all three Americans. But what Rudy wants me to do, he wants me to be a person without a land. I'm an American. Right now, this is my land. Until we have a land of our own, somehow, somewhere in Africa, this is it. This is a land I claim, you know. Till I have an Afghanistan, this is all I know. But yeah, 500 years of looting, chaos, and disenfranchisement. You know, 500 years, man. I read all those years. This is nothing new. People freaking loot and pillage with impunity. You know, no. I know that's your definition. There's three types of Americans. You know, the African American has a culture here. The rhythm, the blues, jazz, all those things, the foods, everything like that is a history. To be an American, you have to have a history here. Our history here started in the 1500s. And then in the slave history started in 1619. That's a story. That's a history. It's people build us up. Black people in America had their own town. People don't even know this. During colonial times, you know, black people we had our own towns, places like upstate New York, places like Nantucket, places like New Jersey, Fort Lee, New Jersey. These are all black towns. We have so many black towns in America, even during slavery times. You know, so we're supposed to just walk away from all that history, or not. You know, the history we created here, this beautiful history we created here. Supposed to walk away from all that to be what? Be some destitute refugees sitting in fucking nowhere. You know, because Africa is not fucking taking us in. Ain't nobody in Africa taking black people in America in. So black people are like, hey, they're smart. They're like, fuck it, I'm an American. I'm just gonna deal with it. And nothing you can do about it, Brody. But 99% of black people are cool with just being American. I'm cool with that too. All I ask you is just don't forget your ancestors, where you came from. That's all I do. You know, whether we reconnect with Africa in the future, I don't know. You know, it's probably not likely. Uh, Now, if you want to call in and you got something to say, if you want to rumble, you want to rumble with the collar rumble, step right up, step right up, step right up, step right up. If you want to rumble with the collar rumble, step right up, step right up. I said what I had to say. If you disagree, we can have a discussion. Step right up, step right up. And get knocked right back the fuck down. Step right up, step right up. I was watching this thing with Afro Man. That is so fucking hilarious. You guys see the controversy with Afro Man? He had a song back in '01 called Because I Got High. That dude was always fucking funny. Anyway, they raided his house back in 2022. Found nothing. Now he's clowning. He clowned the whole police department. I mean, that was just classic. That's what you call using your talent and everything to get back. They said, man, because of his rap record, that's a power of music, you know. They said because of his rap record, when that people call him thieves or call all kinds of names, you know, I was like, you know, made us look bad and whatnot, you know. You know, he was just like, he's just like winning all over. Won his case, and plus now his record sales are going up, and he's doing tours and venues and everything. You know, it's just like unbelievable. You know, and these people sitting back like this. I love seeing white people, racist white people, humiliated. I love that shit. You know, and to be honest with you, the white man's been taking some L's lately. Man, some fucking serious L's. You know, that guy that had the guy that had the restaurant. You know, somebody help me out. He had the black guy that had Tenderloin trying to copyright the name Tenderloin. Black people rescued him. Said, "No, you don't need to do that." But I pulled him out there. White people, man. He was satisfied. This old black man, blah blah. Shut the fuck up, man. We got his own thing now. He's touring, doing his thing and whatnot. You know, and that restaurant is going out of business. I love it. We're not nothing to be. Black America is no fucking joke. We're nothing to fuck with right now. You know. Look, Brody, man. I don't know. I can't sell Pan Africans to black people no more. I can't sell Pan Africans anymore. To people. What more can people say they don't want nothing to do with Pan Africanism? I can't do it anymore. I tried, man. Africans gave me nothing to work with. I tried. Lord knows I tried, man. Lord knows I tried, but I can't sell Pan Africanism anymore. To the people. People like, Colin, I think I'm gonna go someplace else. Now in spirit, now if you have Pan Africanism that actually lead to something, money or business opportunity, yeah, they'll listen. But just kumbaya, Pan Africanism, or not, I'm sorry, Brody. Our people just don't like Africans that much. It is what it is. They're not really feeling Africa and Africans like that. It ain't like it was 7, 8 years ago. I was going to go to church, but then I got high. I was going to get that job, but I got high. But I got high. Got high. That guy is so fucking funny, Afro man. I hated that song back in the days, man. Because it was like that was like the counterculture to me back in the days, right? That song made me quit smoking weed. You know, I said that's how I look, man. Because I got high, because I got high. Like that song made me give the whole fucking weed up. I never did that shit. I hate that shit. I said, man, this is what I look like, man, smoking weed because I got high. I said, this is what I'm hanging around. This is what I'm doing. I said, nah, I gave that shit the fuck up. I said, because I got high, because I got high. I was gonna go to school, but then I got high. I was gonna, but then I got high. But 500 years of looting. Imagine what 500 years from now. Right now, Africa has a net loss. There's about $92 billion that comes into the continent and investment. Woo! But what they don't tell you is that it's like about 115 that actually leaves the continent of net outflow. So Africa has a net loss of like $10 billion a year in net outflow. And that adds up to debt and all kinds of stuff like that. Now it's like so compiled, right? That Africa's external debt is $700 billion, man. And how do they pay that? Oh, simple. We're gonna go to Black America, right? We're gonna tap into their college endowments, their union pension funds, and all this shit like that to pay our debt. Oh yes, my brother and sisters from Africa, yeah, well, I'm glad to help the motherland. Oh Lord, what the fuck, Kidola? I gotta put Kidola on time because I can't listen to him ramble all night. So we'll put him on a time. We'll give him a couple minutes. I'm say it's dumb shit. All right, Kidola, you got. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to you, Kala, about 500 years, you will be gone, and a lot of things change. Africa is losing, right? You
Yep.
know, why do you think so?
I was looking at your country right now. You got your president is worth $8.5 billion. You know, and
What?
you guys, your president is worth $8.5 billion. A politician,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and you ain't got a chance,
Yeah.
bro. Your country ain't got a chance, bro. Really.
Yeah. You see, anything that goes up will surely come down, Kala.
Yeah, y'all been
You
saying
know, we
that for how
surely
many
can.
years now?
No, not too long. Not too long. 1999, some of these people you seen, and they came to power, right? Before then, there were far more corrupt people as corrupt as them that would be jail. Some of them died in jail those days from 1983 to 1999. A lot of them will be put into jail. So they can do what they want now. Power does not belong to one person. For it will surely change one day, and they will surely pay the price. You know, you're right. They're very corrupt. There's nothing we have to say about that. You know,
Yeah,
nobody's
so
going
I
to sugarcoat that.
was even surprised Paul Kagame is worth $5 billion, man. I was like, wow. Julius Malema, he's a fraud. He's worth $500 million. The hell, man. Everybody in Africa is corrupt. You know, everybody
Kala,
like, show
Ka-
me anything these guys do that's worth fucking worth $500 million or $1 billion. Nothing other than facilitating
Kala,
looting and graft and corruption for foreign interests. That's all it is. That's all it is. So
they are very corrupt. No one is, even America, the corruption still happen there.
yeah, but America
You know,
actually works. This country actually works. You know,
yeah,
this
yeah.
country
Other
you don't
than you
see
probably,
millions millions of Americans leaving here. It works. Shit works in America.
yeah, yeah. What you will say that you people have the institutions to hold them. If you one day if you break loose, you people have the institutions to prosecute them and jail them very far. Like what happened to is it Menendez of New Jersey or something like that? Senator
Yeah,
or
I mean
something like that.
that's except he's a Democrat. That's the exception. He was an inside career politician, and the bottom line is he got caught. He tried to throw his wife under the bus. Yeah, we got good thing, but our system here works. Eventually, you're gonna get caught. Eventually, you're
Africa
gonna pay the
one,
price.
Africa one is when the government is being changed, and that was it's a very sad thing, and our people refuse to carry out the necessary revolution like Nepal and Bangladesh. So that yeah, it's too long now. No, I can understand that.
All right, let me get Mr. Sandman on. Mr. Sandman, you still mad at me, Mr. Sandman? I think last time you was kind of mad at me. That's all.
No, I wasn't mad. Mm,
What's
no,
on
I
your
wasn't
mind?
mad like that. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kiki Palmer just passed away. Remember Kiki Palmer and Mrs.
Yeah,
Sandman from
I thought she was. I always thought she was kind of sickly.
Sickly?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't look well. She never looked well.
Mm. Yeah, I never really noticed that too much, but
I did. I did. I could tell. She didn't look healthy in her eyes. She didn't look healthy.
mm. Well, I was going to
Sorry,
say like
can I say,
in
sorry,
regards
please.
to like
Who's Kiki Palmer? Is that the musician?
No,
Kiki,
she's an actress.
yeah, she
Oh
was
yeah, that with Usher.
yeah, Showtime at the Apollo in New York City. The
Is
famous
it the girl? Is it the girl with
the
Usher
t-
that caused problem? Is the girl with Usher? There's one girl that he was having a boyfriend, but I don't know what was going on. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, I don't know if Kiki had a relationship with Usher or anything like that. I think she's a much older than Usher, so I don't really think they had
Oh,
a.
wait, are we talking about the same girl? You said Kiki Parker?
I can't remember her last name. She the one who was in
It's Kiki
with Showtime
Shepard.
at that park. Yeah, Kiki Shepherd.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
who
the
that
last
was.
name.
I don't know who that. I thought. Okay, Shepard. I don't know who that was. Kiki Shepard. Okay, her. Yeah, yeah, she's older. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, she was. I think it's a Kiki Palmer. I was like, Kiki Palmer, just a young girl, man. What the hell? So
Yeah, I'm
what
not
else is on your
familiar with the
mind?
Kiki Palmer.
What
Yeah, I
else?
was just wondering. Yeah, I was wondering why do we put so much onus on money as being the defining thing to
Because
represent success?
money rules the world. Without money, you're not doing anything. Money basically decides who goes to war. Money decides who controls territory. Money decides everything in this planet. We can't get it. The bottom line: if people are not materially successful, that don't mean you love money, but you understand it's necessary to build.
I understand it is necessary, but if a bank can print money out of thin air,
They
then
don't
what
print
is it
money.
really worth?
The money has to money. That's not how it goes. Money has to be printed, right, based on the goods and services that money can back up. That's called fiat currency. In other words, basically, America used to be on a gold currency, but as America's economy grew, the post-industrial age, America, because America has business and finance, banking, and so basically the world's reserve of data, credit, education, culture, and everything, right? So that's where everything in the world has to come through America. Everything, major decision, everything. So America could print money just based on that alone. That everything in the world got to be exchanged through America. Other countries got to do that. They got to guarantee that money either on a raw material or something like that that they get exchanged. America has its diplomatic power, its military power, and all those things to basically back up its currency. You know, other people got to basically, put their money in reserve banks and gold and stuff like that. America simply has the military might to back up its currency. In other words, if somebody defaults, America can come collect. That's what American dollar is based on. You know, you go like this. That's why we was in Vietnam for years. You know, that's why we was in all these wars, right? Because America basically can come collect anytime you default on your money. That's what America can print all the money at once because it's always going to have a way of backing it up because it has a military force, and everything. So yeah, the petrodollar, all that. So the bottom line, everything is paid in petrodollar, backed up by the petrodollar and fiat American fiat currency. You know, so it is what it is. Well, it's all basically the same thing, Elvis. You know, the petrodollar is just what they use to trade when you pay in oil, but it's still pegged to the U.S. dollar. So, but $500 billion, 500 years of production. Right now, you have a situation where you got this thug, Dumbaya, whatever his name is, in Guinea. He's threatening Liberia to take territory or not. This guy is married to a white woman. That's why I said I don't trust. No offense to you, kiddo, right? But this guy is fucking threatening Liberia for what reason? He wants territory and everything. He's a puppet of the French. Yeah, and so he just basically he's a junta. That's why I'm sorry, I don't trust these military rulers and stuff like that. All somebody have to do is say their predecessor is working for the West, that I'm coming to liberate you and stuff like that. And the black people on the West, we say, oh yeah, man, I like him, man, because he said all the right things. They know what to say to get the black people in the West. Yeah, man, America is this, America is that. West France is this, France is that. And that's all you need to say. And black people will just back you up. Like me, the jury's still out on me with Traore. I have not completely bought into him yet. You know, I don't care what anybody say. I have not completely bought. Seems like a fine young man, but I'm sorry, I've seen this movie before. I do not like
Kala,
military governments and rule.
Kala, it's not about the military government. He saw that Liberia is weak at this time. That's why he's doing it. You understand me?
Well, let me tell
See,
you.
look,
Let me tell him something. Right? He don't seem to understand something. Right? Liberia in 2003, there's something good about these people. They laid down their arms. They said, we're going to try peace. You literally had, I'm telling you right now, those fighters that were in Liberia were probably the toughest the African continent has ever seen. You know, there was like 200,000 people that died. Right? You know, that was some of the fiercest fighting ever done in African history, right? But those people all put their guns down because they said guns, violence. The reason why they was able to do that is because Liberia never had, Liberians for the most part were safe inside their borders, right? There were never any threat, except for in the area of the with Sierra Leone borders, in that area, something like that. Maybe the Ivory Coast sometimes, you know. But for the most part, Liberia is protected by its borders internally. So people feel, okay, there's no external threat, so we can put our guns down. Now, if this guy Dumbuya, if he could start something in Liberia, and these people go back to picking up the gun, I feel sorry for Guinea. You know, because there's no way in hell. I looked at his shoulders when these people are any match for these Liberians if they ever get armed again, if they ever go back to war. He don't want that. He does not want that at all. You know.
But I want that. I want. You cannot bully somebody. Look, let me tell you something. I think it's not for
The only
Liberia.
reason why is because the Liberian government has this stupid idea that the government of Liberia is going to be the only protecting force of the country. In other words, basically, the Liberian government said you can't have your own militia groups and stuff like that and everything like that. So they disarmed the whole population. And now Liberia is supposed to be like America. America, basically, we always have frontiermen, Minutemen, militias, and stuff like that. America is very well armed, right? I don't see nothing wrong with having organized militia groups in Liberia, particularly on its frontier. That would be definitely a deterrent. But the government came, brought the troops there. They stayed for a little while. Stayed for a little while, and then they went back. And the people now are starting to organize. And what's going to happen is if there's shots fired, those people are going to get guns. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to get guns. And then the government of Liberia is going to lose control of the situation. That's how it's going to go down.
Not about losing control. Is they have to defend their border. That you saw.
Yeah, but the government says that's the job of the military. The military came there, but they went home. You know, and now some of the Guinea soldiers are coming back.
The truth of the matter is not. They speak French there, because look, what you're seeing now. This is not the first time it's happening. Cameroon was one time like this also against Nigeria, being pushed by the French. 1980. Only what we did, we're far more bigger. We will say enough is enough. They will go after them by using our. We didn't even use our military at that time. We use what we call mobile police.
Yeah, at that time,
even
Liberia did send the police to the border. My point I'm trying to make is, Liberia got to get his head out of his ass. Head out of his ass. If you cannot defend that border, you ought to let the people arm themselves and organize and let them defend their border. Defend it, But Liberia's playing a dangerous game.
Liberia have to take things and be bold enough, because if not, that guy continue bullying them. They have to do what Nyerere did to Uganda, India, me. That you saw.
No, the bottom line is this guy's a provocateur. He just thinks he could do what he wants to do, whatever like that. And unfortunately, he's backed up by he's not in the AES, but he thinks because he's French speaking or Muslim, whatever like that, that is to say, I just don't like the whole the way the AES is unraveling. I don't like it. You know, I don't like the whole thing and everything like that. The fact that he could do something like this,
But
he
they try to. I
violated.
think they try to solve it. I think they will solve it, but they
I
just
mean,
need
it's
to
solving
warn
it, but
him.
the bottom line, he's saying one thing, but his troops are still trying to move towards the border. You know, he has troops
And
still moving towards the border as he's freaking talking.
that's when Liberia now have to call in the English West
So
African
at
troops.
some point in time, Liberia got to get it in their minds that they might have to use force. You know,
What is the population?
that which
What is
all
the
this.
population of? What is population of Guinea?
I don't know. Guinea's are probably, but the thing is, it's spread out. Most of the people are in Conakry. They're not in that area right there. That area, what he's talking about, is used to be part of Liberia. That used to be Liberia. You know, that whole area right there, the Guinea Highlands and all that stuff like that. That used to be Liberia. You know, but it was given to France. France took it.
Okay.
So the bottom line is this,
O- Okay,
and most of
15
yeah,
million
but
compared
most
to
of the people live on the coast, and that's almost like two separate countries. The area right there, and all that. Divide understand something. Guinea relies on Liberia for its export of a lot of stuff through the port of Buchanan. They don't want to start that. They just had a deal where before he got into power, where the previous government in Guinea was building a railway linking to be the transport thing, because the way Africa is situated, right? Conakry was a outpost of the French. The large number of people that live in the Guinea Highlands, all the way up to Burkina Faso or not, are alienated. Their access to the sea goes through Liberia. So this guy's playing a stupid game. He's not that smart. He's not that smart. He's not smart at all. He's playing a stupid game, and he's
I
going to end
think
up losing.
I think you have to be very careful because once you shot the first shot, then you occupy part of Liberia because you think your population is bigger. You now and they ask you to pull back and go back to
Well,
your
actually, to
territory.
tell you the truth, the area that he's talking about, a lot of those people in Guinea, if something broke out, a lot of those people will come to Liberia's side. I know firsthand.
And
There's a lot of people that I know that say they got family on both sides of the border and they can't stand Guinea. You know, they want to be part of Liberia. But the only thing is the language. They speak French.
no, maybe they speak
So
the same.
these. Uh,
Maybe they speak the same language, Carla. Maybe
no,
they
a
speak
lot
the
of
same
people that's educated on the
native
side of the border
native
speak English.
native language. Native language. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
but
the African language.
no one. Yeah, I know, but they speak. Some of the people speak the native language, but for the most part, all the language and instruction in business is done in French or English.
So you're telling me these are cousins, right? Just be separated by the border when the colonialists came, right? So if they have cousins, they come from the same tribe then, Maybe the border just separate them. So they can easily, yeah. I don't know.
So, like I
You
say, it's going to be a lot of mess because some people got relatives on both sides of the border. Yeah, Guinea's big, but if you look at Guinea, it doesn't have a dense population of people. They're spread out all over the place. It's not like that. Where Liberia, they usually got densely populated areas. You know, so I don't know what Guinea's trying to do, what their purpose is, but they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. People overestimate themselves. This guy basically Demaya, whatever his clown's name is. Like I said, when you get these military guys, they're not that smart. You don't have to be smart to be a ruler of Africa. Whatsoever. Don't understand that he had a good deal going on in Liberia with the Port of Buchanan. Uh, uh, Exporting Guinea's bauxite through the Port of Buchanan, stuff like that. And all kinds of stuff that investors want to use the Port of Buchanan to bring heavy equipment to that part of Guinea. You know, because that's easier than bringing it through concrete because concrete's too far away. You know, if he wants to develop that Guinea Highland area, he needs Liberia. But this guy's ain't too bright, so he's gonna blow it. So,
I think they will settle Ikala. I think they will call themselves the chiefs, and the other ones they will see how they can settle their problem. Only that one is bigger.
Chiefs, no, there's no chiefs in Liberia. We don't
Ah,
have chiefs. We don't have chiefs. We don't have that in Liberia.
so there's no chiefs in that border if they have
No,
causes and everything.
no. Liberia is a different country, man. We settled that hundreds of years ago. We took all that chiefs. The only thing the chiefs have is control over their own populations and limited areas over their own people. They have no political power over state or anything like that. You know.
Kala, you mean Liberia have no kings in some of these
No,
territories in
no,
Liberia?
no, 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 no. We got rid of that, man. We got rid of that. Liberia is
So
based like America. We got rid of that. We don't need kings and all that in Liberia.
oh no, oh no, you can say you get rid of their culture. So all these Bassa have no kings.
Look.
Uh,
We wiped the culture. We told them, no, that's not cool. The culture is based on what we created there. You know, that's what we're saying. You know, and
So
Liberians like it that way. You know, they don't want to be like Liberia is different from the rest of West Africa. You know, it's different.
so Liberia does have traditional rulers in their territories.
Well, look,
Like
this is how it is. You gotta say something, right? There's nobody rules anybody in Liberia. This is a modern state. There's no rulers. You know, what you have is a paramount chief. This celebratory, right? In other words, basically, the government has always had the paramount chiefs. They will get the allegiance for the paramount chiefs, right? And that's just basically because they're respected. They keep their people in line, and it's just a symbol, figurehead, you know. And they were on the government's payroll, right? And they usually
and
kind of oversee development
those are rulers,
projects.
man.
He's not a
Those are
ruler.
rulers.
He's not a ruler because he doesn't make any laws. The law of
Yes,
Liberia.
yeah, but they are the custodian of the traditional whatever they
No,
got
no,
there.
it don't.
I think
Kiddo, it doesn't work like that. It's not Liberia's not a backward culture like your culture. You know, they're not a custodian of anything. You know. Now, what thing they do is this, right? If there's something that goes on, and let's say when the bong mines open up, out of ceremony and respect, they will meet with a paramount chief and usually say, "Hey, look, this is what we're going on. This is what we're going to bring to your area and whatnot." You know, but here's the problem. You want to listen to this? You want to tell you something like that? Hold up. This is what happened a couple of years ago, right? And I saw this firsthand in 2023 because I almost got caught up in this shit. You know, I went to Grand Cape Mount, right? There's this mine that's up there, right? That was struck by the former president Ellen Sirleaf, right? Some Turkish nationals, whatever, like that, right? But get this: how everything is done in Africa, right? Is they go to these so-called traditional chiefs. That's basically get the people on board because people are like, oh, our chief, whatever, like that. This is the native people, some of the native people, not the educated ones, but the ones that don't know any better, right? They usually through middlemen are told, we're going to build roads, we're going to build schools, we're going to build hospital. Liberia does not have a chief, bro. You know, shut up. You know,
Kala,
Liberia.
Kala, you
Hold on,
see,
hold
every
on.
say they have two, and they have
Let
council
me
of chief.
let me finish what I'm saying. So anyway, they basically this is what they do. They have a big ceremony, right? They had all the big wig politicians in Monrovia, whatever like that. This is going to help your community or not. They get the chiefs to sign on board because they're corrupt, right? The chief says, okay, this is a good deal, blah, 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 blah. Guess what happens? A couple years later, they're complaining that their water's dirty, there's stuff like that. The schools weren't built, or something like that. And you know the mining company said, well, you guys, your chief signed the deal. You signed the deal. And the people like, yeah, we did have a big ceremony because they would do this thing where they do the drum beating, dances, ceremony, blah, blah, blah. And what happened was Liberians are realizing now that when decisions of life and death are made, you cannot have somebody who don't know what they're doing, you know? And for expediency, the corrupt people in Monrovia, they'll say, yeah, man, the chief, such and such, blah, like that. They know they can get the people going, you know? So the bottom line is this: the government and elite American Liberians have always used chiefs in Liberia to rob the people. They've always used them.
Carla, you said Liberia have no chiefs. That's
No,
a backward thing.
What I'm saying is they don't really have any power, but they have influence on the people.
Yes, but they're the one ruling and custodian of their land.
That's not. Hold on. Let me tell you how Liberia works, right? Liberia's constitution protects indigenous traditional.
Carla, I'm an African. Carla, I'm an African. Carla,
I don't care what you are, Kidola.
You don't got them telling me. You don't got them telling me the people that I know.
What you do in Nigeria is different than we do over here.
Forget that, Carla. This might be you to talk about Black America because there's 1% in Liberia.
First of all, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to tell you.
Black America. Black America culture. Black America is only 1%. 1% in Liberia.
I'm trying to explain to you how it works. I said, look. You want to put down the tradition of the council of people down there? You have three types of land in Liberia. You have traditional land, which is a small amount, right, where native people are protected by council. You can't sell that land. That's traditional land belongs to the people, right? And you have the custodian of the land, the chiefs and whatnot, in the villages, right? That's mostly in areas like River States and whatnot. You got a lot of traditional area, right? In the interior. Then you have government land, which is the majority, right? That's the government, right? The government land. That's like 90% of the land. And then you got private property, mostly the cities on the coast by where the American Liberians live, you know, private property that use deed systems and stuff like that. Right now, a lot of native people are turning their traditional land into private property. And a lot of them are getting rich. A lot of them open up resorts and everything, getting mortgages. Open up resorts and everything, you know, all over the country. The native people are turning their traditional land into private property, you know, by getting registered as private property. That's what's going on in Liberia, you know. But the thing is that thing that happened in Cape Mount, you know, I was up there, man. Those guys were fucking mad. They came at me surrounding my fucking Jeep with fucking machetes and shit. I was like, God damn, like, what the fuck? They held us up for a little while, man. It was like, yo. My driver knew one of them, said, yo, man, we just got to get out of here, whatever. And they let us go. But there was some shit going on and whatnot. Shit can turn real left really easy up there, you know? But they thought that because the chief signed off on it, whatnot, you know, Chiefy Weefy got paid somewhere in Monrovia. And the bottom line, the people were stuck with this thing like, man, look, we got no houses. They said they were going to build this. They said they were going to do this. They said they were going to put the pipe down. They said they were going to do this. And the company said, look, on paper, I did exactly what they said, you know? So they realize now that they can't rely on the same old system of doing things. They can't do that because the bottom line is the chieftaincy and all that is not efficient. And that's happening all over the country, you know? With people, you know, corrupt politicians and the chiefs and all these other people like that, you know, rob the people of their land. Because a lot of the native people got a lot of land that have a lot of resources on them, you know, and how do you get those lands? They simply buy off the chiefs and whatnot, you know, and everything. And people are getting tired of that because now I would feel sorry for the people in Cape Mount, but I know for a fact, I went to read my research, they had this big ceremony. They were out there playing their drums, dancing and whatnot, celebrating this new deal. They were hopeful that it was going to turn out good. And it turned out bad. And then last year, 2 years ago, they opened fire. The police opened fire and killed a couple of them. You know,
that's not why, Colin. The chiefs don't stop.
Look, there was a disturbance up there, and the police opened fire. I was there when it happened. You know?
Yeah. But let me say this.
Back in 2024.
I hear you, Colin. Chiefs don't sign concession agreements. It's all done through
No,
the
but I'm
national
saying, but
government.
he endorses it. He endorses it.
Yeah, but it's
He endorses.
irrelevant. The point I'm trying to
No,
make
no,
is
no.
that
It's not irrelevant. No, it's not irrelevant because if the chief says no, it's not good for my people, it won't go. So they get the chiefs on board. That's all that is. And usually it's just a little bit of, grease my palm and I grease yours. And people look at it as like, well, geez, the chief told us it was good and everything like that. And the whole deal fell through. Ellen, she's
that's
corrupt.
not that's not how it works, Colin. Let me just explain this to you. We have chiefs and then we have paramount chiefs, like what the bill is saying. We're Africans. We always have chiefs. So the chief, we have a council of chiefs, right, in Liberia that works in the Ministry of Interior. So these people are an integral part of our government. In certain places in the interior of the country, you have chiefs who are in charge of the traditional schools and other things like that. And the government consults them anytime it comes to do anything with traditional stuff. Even in official ceremonies, the traditional elders are there to perform traditional rites. So they're part of our country and our fabric of our
I
society.
said
You
I
can't say we
said
don't
that.
have chiefs. We have
Said
chiefs,
that.
Colin.
I said that, but the Chiefs are limited to the areas that they were assigned their areas. What Kidola's trying to make it seem like the Chief is walking down Monrovia and everybody's like bowing.
Kala, let
Okay,
me tell you,
Chiefy.
no,
You know,
Kala, let me tell you something. All what you be talking about is almost like Nigeria. We have what we call customary rules and laws be controlled by our chiefs or whatever.
who
Like
cares?
what
Who
you call.
cares, man? Like I said,
Hold on, Kala. You are Black American. You don't know much about Africa culture.
is that the reason why your president is
You
worth
you are
$8.5
Black
billion?
American, Kala. You don't know
And
much about Africa culture. Don't come and tell me. Don't come and
and
tell
you
me
guys
I'm an
can't
African. I know what is going on, Kala.
hold on. You guys got you
Forget
guys
about
own
my
the Chinese
president, Kala.
$1
Forget
Oh,
about
you
my
guys
president,
own
Kala, but you want to tell me that the same system we run in Nigeria, it also happened in Liberia.
no,
We have the Sultan of Sokoto, we have the Union of Ife. These are permanent chief. But you come from America, you say, oh, there's no chief. This is a backward chief. What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
no,
What the hell is that, Kala? All
no,
these people you see, Kala, that run around in Liberia,
so,
they don't come from somewhere.
Isn't Obasanjo a chief?
Obasanjo is not a chief.
He was a chief.
Obasanjo is just a ceremonial title being given to him, maybe
Oh,
for
okay,
the
he was a
good,
chief. But the bottom line, guess how much?
for, for, the,
Why?
for,
Why
for
is
the
he?
good that he have done.
How did he become a billionaire?
Obasanjo is not a traditional chief.
How did he become a billionaire?
Obasanjo is not a traditional chief. We have what called traditional chiefs that control their ethnically and their tribal people in their zone where they are. These are not chiefs you can just give to some. Obasanjo is a palace chief given by the kings or by the permanent chief who gave them this title. This doesn't mean anything.
They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt.
But you come up and say, "Oh no, that's backward thing." You're Black American. You don't know much.
It is backward.
You don't know the traditional. You don't know anything traditional of Africans at all.
Look, bottom line is this. Like I said,
This
500
this
years
will
of
cause
looting,
people problem in Liberia. This will cause you problem in Liberia that the native almost wipe people off.
500 years of looting, chaos, and disenfranchisement. When is enough is enough? 500 years. Look, Kidola, Africa's external debt is $700 billion. $700 billion, right? Africa loses $100 billion a year in net outflow, right? Actually, it brings in 90 billion, but loses 110 billion. So it's a net of like $10 billion a year Africa loses every year. That means as far as investments and money that got to be paid out, it's like a net loss of like $10 billion a year.
I mean, does it really have to be paid out? I mean, does it really have to be paid out? Because
If you don't pay it out, what happens is this: if you start racking up debts and whatnot, the people take whatever money you have in foreign reserves. They could take that. Your plane lands in their country. They could seize that. They can seize your properties that you have around the world. A lot of stuff that consequences have that.
yeah, but the United States has 30 trillion in debt and no one's seizing our property.
No, America is servicing its own debt. America has an economy that's $37 trillion a year. So America can keep printing money because it has an economy to back it up.
Okay, so you're saying
You know,
that this
that's
this
basically Africa has money, raw money has no way of servicing it. America's servicing its debt, you know, all the time.
is
America's
it really
always servicing
servicing
its
his
debt.
debt? Is it servicing his
Yeah,
debt when you
yeah,
can
yeah,
take out a
yeah. So hold on,
loan?
hold on. Hold on. You hold up. Do you have money in your pocket?
No, I don't.
You don't have it. Do you have money in the bank?
Yeah,
All right, then. That's being. Does it have value? Can you use it to buy something?
yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
All right, then. That's the answer right there. Work.
Okay, so
If you
I
hold on,
can
if you
use
go,
it to
hold
buy
on, if you go,
something
hold on, if
here.
you go, hold on. Oh, listen, let me tell you something, bro. You're trying to sound smart, right? What you call Zimbabwe has dollars worth $10 trillion. Like that's how inflated their currency is. You know, because it has no value.
Okay,
You
it's
know?
all right. All right, here's the thing. You saying the United States economy is worth $30 trillion? Are you saying there's $30 trillion worth of actual physical cash that the government has
Hold
printed
on,
out?
Look, everything from healthcare sector, transportation, right? uh, Manufacturing, banking, finance, service industry, all those things generate revenue. And when it's said and done,
Okay, that's
that's
not what I
$30
asked
trillion
though.
dollars a year.
I
GDP.
asked you, is there $30 trillion of actual physical money in the
Yes, yes,
economy?
yes. That's the gross domestic the national
No, no,
product.
I'm not talking about digital numbers on the on the screen, on the
But
computer screen.
what exactly are you talking about? You just
I'm
want to
talking
argue this
about,
point.
did the U.S. Mint print $30 trillion worth of dollar bills and coins and put it in the economy?
No, why would they do that? That'd be
Of
inflation.
course they didn't. So it's
Inflation. So
all
whatever.
digital. So if I could go to a bank, right, and say I want $1 million loan, are they going to give me $1 million in cash, or are they going to just go to the computer screen and say, here's $1 million worth of
Well, it
credit?
doesn't matter as long as if they give you the money and somebody has a ledger to back it up. It doesn't matter whether they give you it in gold, they give you it in bonds, they give you stocks, whatever it is.
And
They
who
give you
gave that
as
bank
long as it's a physical asset. You know,
who
they give you the
who
money.
gave that bank the right to give me someone else's $1 million worth of cash?
Well, do you understand how banking works?
Yeah, I understand. They printed out of thin
Okay,
air.
banking. No, banks work like this. You put money in the bank. Banks loan you the money based on trust that you're going to pay the money back. You have to have assets and collateral, right? Once they realize you're good risk, right? They loan you the money for a period certain. When not, you make the payments, right? And you pay the interest on those payments. When not, for a period certain. You know, when every
Unless I got an LLC and I loan get a business loan and I don't have to pay it back.
well, yeah,
Right?
you do. Yeah, you do. You don't have to pay it back.
Or
You
my
know,
bank
I
or
mean, no,
my
no, hold on. You people keep thinking that I'm gonna get an LLC and get like. First of all, you still have to have someone has to be a guarantor. Even if you have an LLC, you have to guarantor. This is somebody like me. I do business, bro. Bank ain't gonna give you no loan with an LLC. You got to have a guarantor. That means somebody that's gonna sign back the LLC has assets, a house, something of value. When you have to have a guarantor for them to give you money, an LLC money.
Yeah, because I see a lot of businesses they claim bankruptcy and they never pay back their loans,
Well,
and then they go and start another
that people
business
tell
and
people
take out
that
another million
hold on,
dollar
hold on, hold
loan
on, hold on. They what they do is they file for bankruptcy, right? That
and
gives
never
them
pay
bank.
that $1 million
And
Hold on,
then
back.
they give
no,
you.
no, and they sell the assets of the LLC if it's a
And
building, a
them
car.
assets don't be worth no $1 million.
Yeah, but they still try to recoup. They recoup something from it.
They try to recruit something, but it's not really. Come on now. And then they're already talking about the artificial intelligence taking all of the jobs, and people like Elon Musk is already saying that once all the jobs are gone,
What? Well, God's going what?
that money isn't going to be worth anything at all.
Man, they've been saying that shit for the longest goddamn time. I urge everybody get out there and get yourself a fucking job. Start saving money. Stop listening to that nonsense. The money and the jobs ain't going nowhere. You know, be the same thing 10 years from now. Motherfuckers sitting online. Oh, I told you that the money go. Man, it ain't going. It ain't nothing going nowhere. That's a bunch
Because
of
supply and demand, right?
Carla, I want to challenge you, Carla. Carla, I hope Black Americans are not coming to Liberia to cause problems. And
Kidola, man. It doesn't matter. Kidola.
hold on, Carla.
You have
Hold
nothing
on,
to
Carla.
do with Liberia. It's not your
Carla,
country.
hold on. Carla, yes, I have something to do. I have something to do. I have something to do with Liberia, Carla, because
No, you don't. No, you don't. No,
Liberia,
look,
Liberia, South
Kidola.
Africa. Hold on. Liberia,
Kidola,
South
I'm in
Africa
Liberia right
country.
now. I'm in
It doesn't
Liberia
matter,
right now.
Carla. It doesn't
I'm in
matter, Carla. You
Liberia
can be
right
anywhere.
now.
Liberia
I'm in
is a.
Liberia. I am in Liberia right now. Don't tell me where
You
I
are a guest. You are a guest. You are a guest in Liberia. You are a guest in Liberia, Carla.
Guess nothing. Hold on. I can
You are a
say,
guest
do
in
whatever. Who
Liberia.
the hell you tell me to guess? I live here,
You are a
I
guest.
stay here.
You are a guest. You are a guest
So it
in
doesn't
Liberia,
matter.
Carla.
What does that mean?
Carla,
What does that mean?
Carla, because
Hold up,
I hope you're not going to cause. You hope you with your statement. I hope you're not going to
what
cause.
is that supposed to mean? I don't know, man. You gotta take a break, man. Fuck off my show. I don't know. Elvis, can you explain to me what the fuck is he talking about?
I mean, it means you're not a citizen. You're a foreigner, and you're
Yeah, I
a visitor.
said that.
I think that's what it means.
I said that all the time. I'm an American in fucking Liberia. So what? The fuck is what I got? Walk out, do a dance every day. I'm an American in Liberia. I don't give a fuck. I walk around here like I own the place, man. So what? I like being here. It's like my second home. Like a little
Yeah,
mother with on eggshells.
we like that you like being that kind, but you just talk so much shit. That's your problem.
And the bottom line, and I do it because I really don't care what people think. I'm here, and people are not.
That's not a very sustainable thing. If you're in a country and they
Well,
welcome
no,
you, you
I'm
can't
here.
be
Look,
talking shit
I'm
about the
here. Look,
country.
I'm here doing stuff, and I would say that I probably come to this country way more than most Liberians. You know, I'm here every year. I don't see a lot of Liberians
Yeah,
coming like
probably because you have your wife there. If most
because
Liberians have their wife there,
it
they
doesn't really
come
matter.
every month.
It doesn't really matter. I'm here. I'm here. You know, I'm making my point to come halfway across the damn world to be here. So and I don't apologize to nobody. I don't owe nobody no explanation. I'm here, and I come here on a diplomatic VIP visa. You know, I come here on a special visa. I don't get the ordinary visa. I got a VIP visa because ever since I did that tour in Liberia, I brought a group here, and I got credit for being the first person to bring a tour group here. Organized tour group here. And so the bottom line is the government gives me a lot of respect. So that's why I get a freaking VIP diplomatic visa when I come here. So it's what like Kidola tell me what I gotta do. Kidola, I travel here on a diplomatic visa, bro. No matter what you think, what I need to do. Liberia is like my second home. My ancestors built this country. You understand, Kidola? My ancestors built this country. Every road, everything. My friend Sam that was on the show the other night, his father built SD Cooper Road. His father was SD Cooper, built SD Cooper Road. And people I know built this fucking country. Every street in my road. As the people I'm connected with.
Carla, it's a pity that we have to argue this thing continuously, Carla. It's a very big pity, Carla.
No. What you want me to do is tippy toe and so like that. No, I'm fucking home. My ancestors came here, bled, and killed, and basically established a country right here by which now that I can
Carla,
come here and be
yes,
part of.
Carla, yes. You're part of Africa. I can't take that away from you. I don't have that power. It's your right. You understand? That's your right. What I try to say is, can we just respect the rules and their tradition there? I'm just saying.
Let me ask you a question, Kidola. I'm here in Monrovia, right? In my neighborhood, I got a lot of Muslim people. They walk up and down. Am I out there saying, "Hey, take that shawl off and take that kufi off"? Whatnot? I let people live and let live. You know, I see a lot of people like they do different things. Different women carry stuff on their head. It's Africa. Women do what they gotta do, whatever like that. The kids are different. They wear the kids on their back, bouncing around, whatever like that. I accept that's the fact that I'm in Africa right now. What else the fuck you want me to do? You know, and they speak their Kolakwa. Some people speak their indigenous language here. I respect that. I ain't telling nobody what they can't do. What else do you want me to do? I'm just here enjoying myself. I'm an American in Liberia. That's all. I'm an American. Like I don't go telling everybody I'm an American. I try to avoid even people asking me. I just keep quiet, just whatever. If you ask me when they hear my accent, they ask me where you from. I explain to them. I don't go, oh, I'm an American. I have to say that. I just sit back and mind my business, and just fit in with the crowd. Simple as that. I don't have to go asking everybody, what do I got to do next? What do I got to do now? I do what the fuck I need to do. I'm pretty much here for that, and I learn the ways of the people. For
Kala,
example,
Kala, that's your right, Kala. You are part of the. You are become a part of the society.
Hold on. I'm in here in Liberia. I learned the ways of Liberians. Liberians always speak. No matter, even if they don't know you, they will wave. They will say hello, whatever like that. No matter how many times, if they walk past you 10 times, they're gonna say hello, right? If a Liberian, your house is like it's like a village. Your house is open for everybody. And so therefore you share things. People got to come to your house because they got to plug their phone up because their lights are off right now. They don't have money for the generator, so and it's no big deal. Just come over, plug your phone up over here and whatnot. And that's the way we do things. I have to get used to that.
Liberia is a typical other African countries that things work, things do work.
I don't know or not because the bottom line is this: I never get into any really arguments with Liberians, right? I'm always beefing. People I beef with are Nigerians and who else? I'm always beefing with Nigerians, people from Guinea, and Burkina.
Why do you have beef? Why do you have beef with Nigerians in Liberia?
No
Why?
fucking idea. I just don't. We don't get along. I don't like Nigerians really.
What kind of Nigerians? There are different kind of Nigerians, like the
No,
Yoruba, the
I just don't
Igbo.
get along with them. I don't get along with them. I met some years ago that I thought they were cool and everything like that. But it's like this. For example, like I said, I just don't like the Nigerians in Nigeria that I've met online seem to be nice people, right? But the Nigerians that live outside Nigeria, right? They're the problem. They're a real problem all over the damn world.
Kala, let me tell you something, Kala. If you hate Nigerians or not, right?
I never said I hate Nigerians. I said I don't get along.
Okay, as long Africa is concerned, right? We're different, but we kind of respect each other's type of territory. Only that's just what I want to say is that yes, you're African descendant. You can live everywhere you want to live in Africa. We can argue. There's nothing about that at all. I see that you are passionate about Liberia. You married to a Liberian family. So indirectly, you are Liberian yourself. You understand? You might not have the passport, but you kind of in a way, relationship and all kind of something embedded into them. Good. But I'll just tell you that Liberia is a typical like any other places. If today Guinea invade Liberia, they were not going to last long there. They'll be chased out of that place immediately. They were asked to pull back. If they did pull back, other forces will come and drive them out. And they know that. They know that.
I mean, anywhere you go, you gotta put in work. You can't just go somewhere and be on vacation, got your feet kicked up all the time. The people gonna look at you like you're not really taking it serious.
Sandman, have you been to Africa yet?
No.
Okay, then you can't talk.
No, but this is humans. Humans are the same everywhere you go.
When you come home,
So
when you
like,
come over here and get the experience, it's a different thing.
Humans
Kala, who's
humans are
building?
the same. They just got
Have you
different
been to a
colors
place a few
and they talk
times?
different languages.
Hold up. When you've been here a few times, you know exactly
Kala, who's building Liberia?
what?
Who's building Liberia?
Who's what?
Who's building Liberia? Liberia
Building
passed through a very difficult moment. Who's who's putting the infrastructures? Who's putting things there
the
so that the
government.
country can come back?
The government.
Is it most Liberia citizens are spending thousands of some millions of dollars to build up their country and their territory, their
Well, yeah.
villages, and
I look. The government of Liberia, to me, is building the country.
Kala, the
Every time I
government
come
only
here,
build
there's new
Kala, the government
construction
only
going
build
on.
the government only build the institutions. I'm talking about some of these buildings, these mansions you're seeing there, some of all these buildings you're seeing there. Who's reconstructing it back?
Well,
Is the
there's
people of
Liberians,
Liberia.
Liberians that come to from America, and
Uh-huh.
seen this guy today when I had a fucking brand new
So So
Rubicon
that's what
29.
I said. They say Liberia people are the one turning the country to what they want the country to be. They're the one building it, try to make it
Yeah,
beautiful, try to bring peace.
hold on. They're building their country. Liberians are taking pride in building their country. You know,
Yes.
and I've been getting
So
their way. So it's a big deal.
so outsiders are not helping them to build their country. They build their country themselves. They're losing money. They investing. They're making money. They
Yeah,
pour thousands of dollars into that society.
they're building. They're building their country, right? And the bottom line is, uh, I am a special guest in this country. I'm welcomed here. You know what I'm saying? I consider these my people. I come here all the time. I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends, networks there, whatnot. And so that's it. But I am not going to try to be a Liberian because I'm not. I'm not a Liberian. I'm an American. I'm a Black American who happens to be in Liberia. I love the country. I love coming here, and that's what they respect me as. I know I'm not trying to be a Liberian. But I know they know. I know that I'm home in Liberia. They basically are like, yeah, telling me I belong here. That's what they tell me. They says you belong here. You fit
Yeah,
right
that
in.
just the same, Carla. That just the same way any other Africans that live in Liberia for years.
I don't
They
know. I
become
don't know. No, not
so
necessarily
so
because
so so
hold on,
there's
hold on, hold
nothing
on.
there's
They're not,
nothing special there. Like there's nothing special about it, Carla.
hold up. They're not hold up. They're not saying that to the Fullers. They're not saying that to the Mandingos. They're not saying that to the Ivorians. You know. You
If
know.
if if, if Pavoras live in Liberia for so long, for years, and married to the
Nah,
culture there.
no, no. Look. You got Mandingos that have been here for years. Fools been here years. And they're still not accepted. That's the truth.
Carla,
I'll tell you. Look, hold up. Let me tell you something, Kidola. The reason why I like Liberia, you might not like this one, not because this is like the only place a Black American comes where you feel like you're special. Like you, I mean, really, you feel like you're special. Here.
everybody, everybody, not only Black Americans, everybody.
Well, I don't know.
Before the civil,
If you said Liberia, like any other
let me
country,
tell you something, Liberia, and let me tell you something, Carla. Before the Civil War, a lot of Africans other Africans in West Africa were already in Liberia. They were there doing their life, walking over there. You understand me? Liberia, they just jump from the sky. They communicate, they intermarry with other African people. You understand me? So it is nothing what you call American Liberia. By culture, they're Africans themselves. You understand me? They're Africans. I don't say anything that nothing special about it.
because your ethnic bigotry, egotistic attitude. I'm not the ethno bigotry. Why would a person just feels pride in himself? He's an ethno bigot. Jeez. You know, and then he's like, you see me negative comments about works, culture, so called. Hold up. That's right there. You keep saying so called African American, right? What's so called about that? Black people in America call themselves African Americans, Why you keep saying so called, So basically, Burundi wants to rename Black America. We got to rename you. I don't like African Americans, so let's find a new name for you. African American is just beyond the pale. I don't know what people want from us. You know. I don't know. Hey Elvis, what do you think about the Ghanaians claiming Michael B. Jordan?
Did he check his ancestry back there?
What?
Did he check? Did he trace his ancestry back there to Ghana?
No, he ain't changed his damn ancestry.
Are
All
they
he
just
said was
claiming
his
him
father.
out of blue?
No, his father. He said his father was. I guess he was in Ghana, flew in from Ghana, and that's all the evidence the Ghanaians need. See, Michael G. Jordan's Ghanaian and whatnot. It's like, God damn, you know. The exception, the obsession with Black America got to stop there.
Kala is not
He
the
won the Oscar.
obsession. Direct that to Ghana. So what you mean is not all the whole of Africans. Nigeria never claimed anybody from Black
Yeah, but
America.
hold up. Why did your guy Shibuki get up on stage at the Oscars? Why did he show up? He's Nigerian. Why did he show up there?
Yes, because the Oscar, whatever it is, Oscar, whatever, Chibuzi was being given an award. He was
Yeah,
not
but
upset to treat people
why was he necessary?
because he live in the United States.
Yeah, but he
He live in
he
the
go to a
United
million
States.
places. Why he had to
And
show up?
because they invited him, Colin, his song is
What
a
was
song that
the
a lot of
point?
people like.
Hold on. What was the point of him coming and crashing that shit? He just threw the
What
whole
even
thing.
crashing? He was a presenter and a performer. So he was invited to the Oscars.
Oh Lord.
Direct that to Ghanaians who are jumping in. It's not the whole of Africa. It's a shame that Ghana, that's what they give. I didn't like they give that dude who was that streamer passport just like that. You just buy somebody just come to your country. Oh, take this passport. It's Ghana, and we all call Ghana out for that. You people are scammers. You people are doing the wrong things. You people are too. When you too eye service. Yeah, hey, you're a Ghanaian now. Because that is you're not honest to yourself. You're not honest to yourself. I saw that. Oh, it's from Ghana. It's not from Ghana. The guy just is father flowing from Ghana. So he didn't say it's Ghanaian, but Ghana twist it, and this is the PRO. You see, when you do things too much, you start disgracing yourself.
Yeah,
That's what
what you
Nigeria
my,
never invite
my
nobody.
thing is this Ghana. What they do give Nigerians is they don't give a fuck about us. I love that shit.
Yeah, yeah, because that is good. That is good.
My whole thing is,
That
check
is
this out.
good. That is good. That is good.
Check this out. Ghanaians basically like this. They'll have a whole bunch of people returning Ghanaians in their country with U.S. passports, and they will basically uh, pass them off as African Americans. Oh, you got people coming from Liberia with a U.S. passport. He's African American. People from Haiti, U.S. passport,
Kala,
they're
the,
African. You know,
Kala, the battle we have now on the internet.
and it's gonna say what they do is look at all the African Americans we got. Like that's some flex.
Kala, the battle we have on the internet because by the Ghanaians, nobody else. The Ghanaians say, "Oh, you have returned and become an insult in internet." Now they want to lay claim to people that actually did come from there. Look at what Black Americans say that. Oh, they're so obsessed with us. Take it to Ghana, not to any other African people, not to Cote d'Ivoire, not to even Sierra Leone that share similar culture, not even Liberia that shares similar culture. Hold Ghana responsible for that obsession, no other places. Ghana, stop claiming things that are not for you. You understand? Because you people looking for whatever tourism, stop giving passport out just like that. Because you people want to have a PRO stance. Now we have problem now. The same people who will come to your country, the same people will bash you later. Everything mention Ghana name. Ghana, not other African countries.
All right, Kashta, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I got tired of them pressing you about your Liberian status, man, and they saying you a guest and all of this stuff. Like, that
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
rhetoric. That kind of
yeah,
rhetoric, it gets dangerous because it's like at the end of the day, bro, like we still African people, and we don't need somebody to tell us that, hey, you're this, for us to
yo,
feel like
let me tell you something. When I walk, every Liberia is a unique country because they got every phenotype here of black people. They got every phenotype here and whatnot. You know, people are like, I ain't no African. That's like, nigga, I just saw your twin the other day walking down Michelin Street, you know? I thought I saw you around walking down. Yo, look, there's your twin. You can find your twin right here in Liberia. You know, the phenotype, the striking similar black America in Liberia is so fucking strange. You know, you like my cousins, you know. But the bottom line is this: so when I'm walking around Liberia one night, let's not open my fucking mouth. Nobody knows what the fuck I am, you know, till they hear my accent. Nobody knows what the hell I am, you know. So when I walk around, I'm just like fitting in with the crowd and whatnot, and I feel at home, you know. And I feel more relaxed here than I do America. I'm like, shit. I'm almost in my third week. I'm like shit. I gotta go back to the United States. Well, I gotta get back. I gotta do work. I got work to do when I get back. But shit, you know, I'm backed up. But when I come to America, go to America, right? What's gonna happen is this: you're gonna be around white people. I've seen like one white person since I've been here. One white guy since I've been here. You know, go back to America, same old fucking shit. You gotta put on this fucking stupid ass smile. You gotta stop. I can't look like I gotta always be happy, so I don't like a threatening black man. Put on this fucking act. The sisters over in America, man, you gotta talk to her because they always think you're trying to get with them or something like that. Liberian ladies over here are just so sweet. They're so ladylike and whatnot. You say hello, whatever like that. They, how you doing, whatnot. You know, no big deal. They ain't think you're trying to get their number, whatever like that. Just really nice conversation between men and women. That's the sort of relationships I love, you know. I'm not trying to get with you. Just hello. I just want to say hello to a lady, you know. How you doing? I had this one lady yesterday. I was at the Lagoons, right? Just having a beer. I went to have a beer before I went home. And so this one girl sat down. You know, she was all right. It was a little girl. She wasn't really attractive. I'm not really my type, right? Anyway, she was sitting there by herself one night, you know, and she was waiting for somebody to come up to talk to her or whatever like that. And as the waiter was getting me my check, I said, ask the young lady what she wants to drink, right? And she ordered some fruity drink, expensive, whatever. And she goes, she got up, she goes, oh, thank you. And she came over to my table. I said, ma'am, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I did it because, you know, God told me to do it. You're sitting there alone because there was all these groups of people there. She was sitting there by herself. And I was like, that girl, I feel bad for that girl because no one's talking to her or whatever like that. So I just sent the drink over to her, you know? And then I said, you have a good night. Nothing like I want your number or nothing like that. But that's the way I am, you know? That's the way I treat people, you know? I ain't asking for a number and asking where her situation was. I just saw a young girl. She was sitting there, you know, and she didn't have a drink in her hand. So I bought her a drink, you know, and went home.
Tyler, you just judge her based on her appearance. She didn't look that good.
You know something?
Why would you ask her for your number if you married?
Hold on. I knew. Look, I was not going to ask the number. I wasn't going to ask the number anyway. You know, but Elvis, I knew when I told the story. I just said that as an optics. You know, Elvis, I knew when I told the story, Elvis was going to say, because you weren't really attracted to her. College. No. It wasn't. She was pretty. I was like, look, you know, one, she's too young for me. Two, I'm married.
Yeah, why is that even a consideration? The first thing should be I'm married. Full stop. That's it.
Yeah, I'm married, but I'm just saying I'm sitting there and I seen them drink. I seen a girl with a drink. They drink when I said, look, you know, just as a man, you know, just my paternal instinct. You know, that's all. I have a paternal instinct, you know, in me. You know, I see women, whatever like that. You know, if I see a woman broken on the side of the road, I'll pull over to help. That's just in me as a man. I see a woman sitting there by herself, whatever like that, like a nice young woman.
Yeah, Tyler, you're a real mensch. You know, that's a good thing. You're a mensch.
So
You know what a mensch is?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what your goofy all sayings are, but I'm like this. Hey, look, you know, the bottom line is, hey, he has a drink, you know, and then I went home. Simple as that, you know. You know, she was gonna. I said, you don't have to come give me your number and I'll do that. And she was kind of cute too, but you know, just too young for me, you know. And I'm married, you know, so I don't mess around. But I'm just like, hey, look, normally Sometimes,
The married part is the afterthought. You say everything else and then married.
that's that marriage is the first and last thing. But the bottom line is this: will talk and have female friends. Sometimes I will have to sit down and talk to female friends. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Nothing like that. But this time, I'm like this. No, we have nothing to talk about. No, we are not. That's what I'm saying. We have really nothing to talk about. She was a little older woman. I said, hi, how you doing? This is what I'm doing here. And by tell her I'm married, blah, blah, blah. What you doing? How you doing? And, oh, you from the States? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I meet a lot of people here. I meet people, You're from the States? Oh, yeah, I'm from Philly. When I meet a lot of people, be like, yeah, I'm in from Philly. I'm in from this place. And also you end up knowing the same people and whatnot. They're like, oh, yeah, I know such. But I do that all the time. But this girl was like young. I was like, she's just a kid. We had nothing to talk about. I was saying that, so I'm gonna go. Simple as that. So what do you think about that, Kashka?
I think that's nice. I think we need more of that from brothers, because you're right. Like the women in our country over here, you say what's up to them, they think you're trying to. They think you're trying to talk to them.
And the bottom line is this, and the reason why Elvis don't seem to understand that. In America, I couldn't do that. In America, if I set the girl a drink over, it'll be a big thing. Oh, what does that drink mean? What are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here, this girl's like, thank you, thank you for the drink, whatnot, and that's it. That's all, I would love to be able to do that in America. Let me send a drink over to you. How you doing? See things over there. Let me buy y'all a round of drinks. No big deal. Let me go back over to my friends over here. But in America, how these women, oh, he sent drinks over. Now he's gonna hang around us all night and whatnot, They automatically think that's what you're trying to get, I'm like, they really don't believe guys just go out just to be socialized female, that we always want to fucking get them in bed and shit like that, So we come here, it's not like that. Women understand there's all kinds of guys here, and they do have men here that just, are like brotherly, here, So I said, America.
And some people just aren't good conversationalists to begin with. So even if you was trying to get something, it won't make a difference.
Oh, yeah, well, it's like this. If you talk to somebody, you want to talk to somebody, you can talk to somebody. But the thing is, though, it's like you go say, look, I just said, look, told the bartender, give her what she wants. That's it. She ordered a drink. That's it, I said, she was, oh, thank you. I said, you can have a nice day. She was going to come and sit with me. I said, that's right, you don't do that. You have a good night, And so.
Was it an alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, it was an alcoholic beverage. What do you think? It's a bar. Right down, so beautiful last night, right there on the lagoon. A place called Al Lagoons, right there on the border. We're sitting out on the patio.
Well, why didn't you get everybody a drink? Why you pick her?
She was sitting by herself, that's why. And the other table
you should have sat down and talked with her for a little bit so she had someone to talk to.
Well, what are we going to talk to her about?
Anything. You talk to her about the weather.
Look. I have a fucking
Liberian soccer.
Look, I don't want to know about Liberian soccer. I go home and talk to my wife about Liberian soccer. The fuck I'm going to talk to her about? I just bought her a drink, being nice, and that's it. Like I said, maybe one day she's like, oh, wow, maybe more guys will do that for her, because I want to let her know that not every guy's after your body. Not every guy, she was cute too. Not every guy's after your body. Sometimes just sitting there seeing a young girl, because all the other tables had females there and dudes there, fine ass females sitting there, and they were all like in groups, they're all like in tables for a group. And I just saw everybody was sitting there. I was sitting by myself. She was sitting by herself. And so, she was sitting there for a while. Like, I don't know if she was waiting for somebody or somebody. Well, I looked for a while there. I saw nobody was coming. And she was like, and I guess obviously she didn't have no money. So I just bought her a drink. I said, hey, have a drink. Don't sit there alone with no drink in your hand. That's all. That's all. So just be the man, I need to know anything else. There's that female sitting there without a drink in her hand, and I fucking have to come through. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think it's inappropriate to buy a woman a single woman alcoholic beverage late at night
Oh yeah, well, you're not the brightest tool in the shed. What's wrong with it?
because she can get inebriated and you can take advantage of it.
Yo, are you thick or stupid or what? What the fuck is? I told you, you bought her a drink. I bought her a drink, and I went home. I wasn't drinking with her. I was paying my tab. I said, order her, put me on, put something on my tab for her, and I left. We ain't getting
You don't
inebriated.
understand. You don't understand the concept of being inappropriate.
And I wasn't inappropriate. See, you got those mangina talking points. You know, you sound like you're emasculated. You know, a man's a man. You know, a man's gonna talk to women. That's what we do. You know, how you choose to talk to women, how far you go, that's up to you. But men are always gonna have a relationship with women. That's what we do. The day you stop
That's
fucking talking, the day you
that don't
stop
even
talking to
make
women,
sense. So why would a masculine man want to talk to a feminine woman?
I didn't
How
talk to her.
how how does how does femininity make you more masculine?
What are you talking about? I can't hear you. Breaking up.
No, see, as a man, if you was a real masculine man, you would say, okay, I don't think it's a good idea for a young lady to be drinking late at night all by
Man, you
herself.
sound
But
like
if
yo,
it's
dude,
not
man.
me,
Stop,
then
yo,
somebody else
dude,
could take advantage of you late at night.
dude. You sound like a cornball. It's a fucking grown ass woman.
A cornball? Are you a grown man?
Yeah. Hold on. You
Do
sound
do
corny,
grown
man.
men use
Yeah.
words like cornball?
Yeah. You sound corny, man. You know. Do you go out, Mr.
Cornball.
Sandman?
That sounds like something like a 20-year-old would say.
Yeah, but
Ain't you like
I hate to
60?
say it, man, but you do sound corny though, man. That sounds corny.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just
that's
go to the movie.
lame.
They're gonna call you a nerd, man.
A nerd.
Yo, yeah, you gonna call you a nerd, man. Yo, goddamn. Don't tell
I
me.
bet
Tell
you.
me
I,
this.
I bet you don't call them white
Tell
people that you work with
tell me.
cornballs. They tell your
Tell me.
black ass to go write
Tell,
some paperwork up, and I bet you hurry up and say yes,
tell
massa.
me. Tell me. No, I don't know. I work for myself, bro. I don't answer to nobody.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
right.
able to come here. I work for myself. How you think I'm able to take trips over here every year?
Yeah, so you could get that white people money.
What white people money? Tell me how I get white people money. I
What
make my
black
own money.
businesses you work with?
Look, bro, Sandman. I don't have to
What?
tell you anything. Hold on. Have you ever revealed anything about yourself?
I don't have to.
All right, so why you ask me about myself then?
Okay, I'm just saying that you
No, I'm a
making
businessman.
allegations about me, but you don't know shit about me
No.
either. So
You're saying that me leaving a girl inebriated
what
was the
kind of
dumbest thing I
60-year-old
heard.
man uses language like that?
Yo, first of all, I'm not 60. And second of all, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. You sound horny. Really. You know, I hate to
You
say it.
sound lame.
You're saying, no, you sound lame, you know.
And you
Look at Rico
sound
Miller.
stupid.
Rico Miller says Sandman's a fucking idiot. God damn. Somebody said, how do we get on the topic of her not being safe? I don't know, man. I don't know where this guy Sandman comes from. I think he comes from Search for a Huru show. You
You
know.
know something? Liberia doesn't need your kind.
Well, I'm here. I'm here. You're not. I'm here. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having the time of my life, man. You know, I'm here every year, 5 straight years, man. Every year. You know, next year I make 6 straight years. I got my own crib, my own flat screen TV, furniture, living room set, dining room,
Who
everything.
gives a fuck?
Well, I do. Jonathan, go ahead, man.
What
Work
up,
with me.
Kyla? How you
Work with
doing,
me.
brother?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I don't know what I came into. I just want to say that if making money off the white man is a bad thing, how stupid are we that we let white people make money off us and still call that a bad thing? If
Well,
they
I don't
take
know,
money
man.
from us, it's a bad thing. If we make money off of them, it's a bad thing. We got to think better than that. That's kind of stupid.
You gotta go to Mr. Sandman logic. I don't know what that's all about.
That's not logic.
Now,
What's going
Jonathan,
on, Kyla?
if I see look, if I see a girl I'm getting ready to leave the bar, right? Well, actually, a patio out there overlooking the moonlight. Beautiful night when a bunch of people there at this resort club slash club, whatever like that. It's banging. You know, right next to the Calabash, best club in the fucking world. We're out there chilling right now, and I'm on the patio, underneath the patio, and I'm about to have my last drink. Right, see a girl sitting there for a minute there. Nobody's coming to sit down with her because everybody's all sitting down together. And I say, told her my waiter, see what the girl wants and get her a drink. You know, I got her a drink. You know, she got her a drink. She said thank you, and then I got up and left. Did I do anything wrong, Jonathan?
No, what's wrong with that?
I don't know. You got to ask Mr. Sandman. You got to ask Mr. Sandman. What the hell, man? You know, tell me I did something wrong, man. You know.
Hey, if Liberia is that super safe of a place where it's okay for women to walk
Yes,
around late at
yes,
night by
yes.
themselves,
Yeah. Women do it
well
all the
then it's
time.
fine then.
Yeah,
But
women do it
but
all the
she's
time.
so young.
She only had
She's so
one
young that you can't
one
even
drink.
talk to her.
Or one drink when that. But the bottom line is this: all I did was order a drink. You guys, like I said, these guys. Every time I say something, I could say a cat in a
Wait,
hat.
Carla. She's young, but she can go to the club by herself.
Yeah, well,
But she's
she was
too young
like
to go home by herself.
no, she was like more like 25, 26. You know, somebody like that. You know, a young
Well,
girl,
she's
little
within
girl.
that, in that case, she's a grown ass woman. She can go there
Yeah.
by herself. She can leave by herself. She's fine.
And also, all I did was say, you know, I said, girl, it's a shame because I was waiting for some of the other guys that was sitting there, these single guys that were sitting in a group by themselves, to send her over drinks. So that's so they weren't doing it, right? So I ordered a drink, you know, said, yeah, buy her a drink, you know. And she was just so happy when I like made her night. She just kept smiling, you know. I
If
feel
you was
good.
a boss, you would have sent your workers to walk her home.
What are you talking about?
You ain't got no workers in Liberia for you?
What the fuck? I would have workers walk a freaking girl home. How silly you sound. What the hell would I have workers walk a girl home without for one drink? You
Oh,
know,
but you be talking like you a boss.
oh well, I am. You know, but I ain't
Oh,
gonna do it for that.
bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? I have a driver.
Yeah, you should have told your driver to take her home.
Well, I'm not gonna tell my driver to do shit. You know,
Can't
because
afford it?
right now, I just think you're trolling.
All right, go ahead then.
Really, I just think you're trolling.
Carla, you know
You
he
know,
trolling.
you
He
make me
can't be
troll. You
serious.
ask me troll questions.
You voluntarily buy a girl a drink.
Yeah,
Now that I bought you a drink, I'm
you
gonna
can't
send
be
you a
so
ride
clear.
home. Did she tell you that she wanted to go home? What kind of thinking
No,
we got up
she was
here?
just getting. She just got there. You know, I have no idea, man. This is your
Is
boy,
this
man.
is this really where
Giving
we
stuff
at?
from
Is this really
the
black
search for the
man
rules.
thinking? This is how black men think. We this stupid.
I don't know.
Fuck
I
man.
don't
God
know. And
damn.
like I said, I
Shit, he
told him
wanted you to
he
send a
sound.
worker to walk her
I
home,
told him.
Kyla.
I told him he sounded corny. He said, "What kind of man uses that thing?" I said, "You sound corny." You know, goddamn, that sounds corny. You know, you go ahead, Dark Migo.
Nah, I was just listening in, man. You know what I mean? Because, Guy was saying you're not a boss for having the workers walk the ladies. I'm like, what? What's that about, man? Why you hating on the Genesis?
Cause
I don't know,
I'm like,
man.
damn, you spent all this money to go all the way to Africa and talk about how this is the motherland and you gonna start an African, and the story you telling me is about going to a stupid ass bar to buy some cheap ass
Well, I just
beer
mentioned
to
that.
give
I
to
just
give to
met
some underage girl.
I'm over here, and what this show does, I
That's
tell
some
people,
bullshit.
you know, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, drop his ass, Colin.
You dude's a fucking
The
clown,
minute
man.
you
You
say
know,
an underage girl, fuck out of here, nigga.
yeah, he's a
Kind of
fucking
fuck
clown.
shit was that?
Look, first of all, let's go back. Where did this nigga, we know this nigga from Dynasty Show. Dynasty putting these fucking clowns on. You know, Dynasty fucking making these dudes, giving these dudes a platform. These clowns like Sandman, you know, fucking straight up clowns, you know. I'm over here in Liberia enjoying myself, you know.
Where are
I'm
you from?
enjoying myself.
Jamaica?
Huh?
He from
Or John?
Jamaica or something?
I have no idea. No, he says he's American.
Oh no, he ain't one of us.
I said that too. I said, nigga, you ain't one of us. He said, no, I'm black
We ain't
American.
that damn stupid. We stupid. We ain't that stupid.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
levels to our stupidity.
Hold on. You know when you're talking to one of us, you know, the culture, the vibe, and all that. That nigga is not one of us, you know. That nigga is not one of us. You know.
I ain't never heard so much stupid shit come out of a grown man mouth. 10 minutes straight. God damn.
I don't know. I think you're doing
I ain't even got shit to say no more. I'm disappointed. Go ahead, Nigo.
Nigga said that lame ain't one of us. Yeah. Hey Jonathan, what do you think about Ghana claiming Michael B. Jordan?
They need to stop claiming people. Fuck Ghana. We are our own people. We don't need nobody to claim us. We claim ourselves.
Well, it was a mistake, a false part on his part. He said, as soon as he said that, right? My father flagged the guy and said, oh shit. Why did you I knew when he said that, man. I said, oh man. Sure enough, man, the very next day. You see, I didn't know Michael B. Jordan was Ghanaian or whatnot. That's a win for Ghana. Ghana's already writing it out that one of their own won the Oscar or whatnot. They're claiming victory right now, you know. They're doing a victory lap right now, you know. Oh Lord, man.
Ghana's such a crappy place, man. There's no, they ain't got nothing. Oh God. Let me not go there. I don't
And then
want
what
to
do you
make
think
Lewis come up and start
what do you think
whispering that
about
he's in this
I
London
was
apartment.
asking Elvis about Shabuzi getting on stage. What was the point of that dude showing up? You know? That dude showing up, man. Like, dude, can we have anything for ourselves one night, you know? It's like, damn, man,
But,
go.
but Kala Shabuzi never claimed to be Black American. What do you mean
No,
by Shabuzi?
he's not one of us. He's fucking Nigerian.
So you blaming Shabuzi. Shabuzi only said he's from Nigeria. He never claimed to be Black American. You know?
Yeah, no, but why does he got to come to our fucking venues? That's what I'm saying, you know?
Which venue is
Why
that?
don't they have their own fucking,
Which venue is
their
that?
own spot, you know?
Which venue that's being organized by some kind of institutions like that give award to best singers and whatever it is. You know, that got nothing to do with you. You know, he's not
It has
claiming
everything
he
to do
never
because the creativity came from us, you know? That movie Sinners was ours, you know?
Shibuzi never claimed to be, oh, I'm Black American right now. He never said it.
Yeah, well, okay, if that's the way he says that, why
He
can't he
never said
fucking
it, Carla.
say
You bring it Ghana, you bring it
well,
Ghana.
Hey Jonathan, am I missing something here?
Carla,
No, you're right.
Carla, you bring it Ghana that I want to claim. Let me tell you something, Carla. Ghana have never have anything to be proud of. You understand me? When you're not proud of yourself, this is what you got. You understand me? You know, we have a lot. Nigerians, the diaspora have a lot of things to be proud of. Even some of them say we don't even. Oh, so this one is gone, man. It's too lost. You know, Akim Olajuwon don't even celebrate it in Nigeria. Too much like that. Oh, okay, it's there. He would have come and build basketball, do what he's doing there, try to do it in Nigeria. We don't even claim him too much. You know, okay, it's there. You know, so
Yeah,
look
there's
at it.
nothing wrong with Shabuzi doing country music. We colonized him, so he's our boy.
Shabuzi will live somewhere in the south over there, where he stay and maybe possibility he went to the with white people sing more country music though. You know, with black people
So
sing country music.
Black people
You know,
invented
there are
country.
black people that sing country music.
We got
you have
plenty of
Don
black.
Williams, you have something Jimmy Reeve, you have all kind of people there that sing country music. You know, white people don't want to really vibe into his sound. You know, when I watch some of the crowd, I see more about white people there. You know, if you want to make it good in country, you have to be mixed with these white singers also who say country. That's how it could be better. You know, so not everything that if you want to that guy called Jordan, whatever I think Ghana want to claim, that's what I say mention Ghana. Ghana become a somehow a menace. You know, you invite people, you give passport anyhow. You, you know, you want when you want to be too nice, let me see you have something under your sleeves. You're not genuine. That's just the truth. This year of return is it has become a problem to all of Africans. So I was shocked with Ghana. So, he's from Ghana, like, huh?
Hey,
When people
Jonathan, was
say
you
that,
listening when I was reading off the richest African politicians?
Nah, I just came on when you were
All right,
arguing with the
let
dumb
me
dude.
play that again.
Simply, see, he probably is from Philly, but he ain't FBA. He too stupid to be that. Even as dumb as they sound, they at least got some kind of logic. This dude had zero logic. Zero logic. He a half breed or
You
something.
talking
He
about,
ain't he ain't one of us. There's no way you could be that dumb.
you talking about Sandman?
Why you didn't have your workers walk her home? Fuck that bitch. Walk her home for what? If she could walk her ass to the club, the bitch could walk her ass right back out of the club. What
I'm
type of
looking at
lie?
these. I'm looking at these African politicians, right? Diasa Danjuma, Nigeria, $350 million. Skip it. Johnson Mahama, $440 million. Kenya, Ken Ofori Atta, 450 million. Uru Kula, Nigeria, 500 million. Moses Watugaluga, 500 million. Kenya. Julius Malema, 550 million. South Africa. Rocho Okoro, 590. Nigeria. Aguilera, Nana Atu, right? Remember that's Lewis's boy, $700 million. Obashanjo, $730 million. Laurent Gbagbo, I always like them. Ivory Coast, $750 million. Soko, Kenya, $750. I'm like, look at this thing, like Dabion Beckett, South Africa, $800 million. You know, what these people, like I said, I didn't notice, man. Paul Kagame is worth $5 billion, man.
That's it?
5 billion. I didn't think he was
Oh,
rich.
5 billion? God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah.
Well,
And
Kyle,
which
I gotta be
boy?
honest. I ain't mad at. I know some politicians in Nigeria. They're very cool, wicked people, and you talk to them and they explain to you that the masses of the people are so stupid. There's no help for them. So the best thing you could do is just reap the resources of the country. And I say, you know what? I agree. These people are stupid.
Yeah. Well, how do we
If
get
they if they
some of that
let you
money?
live long enough
Yo, how
to
yo?
do all of
Hold on,
this shit,
hold on.
they're
But how do we
stupid.
get?
So fuck
How do
them.
we get? Yo, Paul Biya is like 100 years old. He's worth $5 billion. You
And
know?
Kyler, he's still living.
Yeah, he's still living. You know.
He's still living. They ain't learned
They,
nothing
so,
from the
so,
Africa, ain't learned nothing from the Russian Revolution, ain't learned nothing from the French Revolution, ain't
well,
learned
why?
nothing
Because
from the Chinese Revolution.
Africans are too scared because you got people like Kidola telling me about some fucking chief or not. You
Well,
don't
that's the
understand.
thing, though, Kyler. If you're too scared to kill the chief and to kill these people, then at
I will
that
say,
point,
the
you're
bottom line is
stupid
in
and you
Africa,
deserve to be
a
treated the way
lot of
you're being
chiefs,
treated.
in order for Africa to be free, a lot of politicians and chiefs are going to have to die. You know, that's the way it is. Blood, you know, that's the only way Africa's going to be free. You
Yeah, but
know,
Kyler, you can't do that though. See, I've been to Oba Palace and I say, wow. I mean, ain't no damn like European palace or an Asian palace or a Middle Eastern palace, but it's a palace, okay? And at the end of the day, right across that street from that palace, I see dire poverty. And in my mind, I
yeah.
say, well, y'all look at this man as a god. I mean, you go to one of the nicest malls in Benin. You go into the restaurant, they got pictures of him like he's Jesus Christ in the clouds surrounded by black angels. And I'm like, I mean, hell, if y'all believe this shit, God bless you. Stay poor, stay impoverished, and enjoy that shit. I used to be against that shit. At one point, I used to be like, you know what? These rich African people, they're oppressing the poor and all of that shit. And I used to really care. And I used to be speaking against the rich people in Africa. But once I realized how dumb the small people are, I say, you know what? Fuck y'all. Fuck
Yeah,
y'all.
that's what
Y'all
I'm getting like that too, man.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. You know what? Jesus Christ gonna save you. At this point, I might open up a church. I might open up a church and preach Jesus Christ to these people and collect their money too. If they that dumb, let them be dumb. And it reminded me of Black America. Unfortunately, when I was arguing with these dumbass FBA people, and I gotta call them dumbass FBA people, they were talking about, yeah, you know, man. You know, Reverend Jesse Jackson, man, fuck him, man. He was a sellout. I said, y'all didn't follow Jesse Jackson. You didn't even vote for him. Y'all didn't follow Khalid Muhammad. Y'all wasn't buying guns. Y'all wouldn't follow Martin Luther King. You didn't want to get beat on. You didn't follow Malcolm X. You didn't build a black voter block. You had all kind. You didn't follow Elijah Muhammad. You didn't want to build a nation of your own. You just saying fuck everybody at this point. And if that's your opinion, then fuck you. You don't wait. You don't want to follow Kala. You don't want to build an Afristan. You don't want to follow Dynas. You don't want to go search for your Uhuru. Well, that's the way that y'all are. Well, then, goddamn it, Democratic Party, give me the money. Yes, fuck these niggas. I'm sorry, Kyle. That's my point of view. It took me a long time to get to that point, to realize how fucked up we actually are. The Africans are dumb. The Caribbeans are dumb. Black Americans were dumb too. We're the most difficult people to lead. And I don't blame our leaders if they don't want to lead us anymore. Because, I mean, in order to lead us, we got to follow. We're not good followers of anything.
No, the problem is that the internet made it worse. Everybody thinks it's like, remember the old saying, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, you know? So in other words, black people don't know how to say, okay, this person's in charge. Let's get behind him, you know? Let's get behind him. Let's find his vision. Like me, I put out the vision for an African. I'll stand by that today I die. I said that's the only thing that could rally the black race together under one banner, bringing Black Americans home to their own nation, would build Africa, and it would build the black world. It would probably unite the black race under one infrastructure. But the African mind doesn't see it like that. You hear now that Kenya is thinking about giving Israel a whole land, even bigger than Israel and Kenya, do farming on that. They're about to build a settlement in Kenya. The state of Israel.
Well, Kenya's America's bitch, so I'm not surprised by anything that they do at this point.
So I'm like this. You get to the point where Africans, I'm just like punch drunk off Africans. So
I mean, Kyle, at some point, you just got to accept Africans for what they are, accept Black Americans for what we are, and accept Caribbeans for what we are. And at this point,
that's why
the masses of our people are just fucking stupid. Fuck them. And let's get as rich as we possibly can.
That's why it is. Like when I come to Liberia, I'm here to enjoy myself. I ain't trying to change nothing, whatever like that, because the people just are what they are, and whatever it is, That's it. That's all I do. I come here and I enjoy myself, have the best time of my life, But I ain't trying to learn nothing. I'm not trying to change nothing. I'm not trying to do none of that shit, So,
it's weird. I've been doing a lot of reading and shit. I've been for some reason I started studying Henry Kissinger. Now I look up a lot of his quotes, read his books and shit. And it's very blatant that the shit that he actually said. Like, the poor people are supposed to die for the rich children. Say that shit, you be in government, and at the end of the day, it's true. That's exactly what the fuck happens. It is what it is. The people at the bottom, they're fucking stupid. And they are where they belong. And unfortunately, we are the black race. I'm starting to realize we just might, at the moment, we are where we belong. And we might as well go and embrace that shit. Because unfortunately, I respect Malcolm X. I do have a disagreement with him when he said that we can never be nothing unless Africa is something. Well, that's the case, but then goddamn it, we're fucked. Let me get as rich as I can.
Well, I always believe that too. That's why I move out.
That's a bad idea, Colin. They got 4-year-olds working in mines. I mean, goddamn. You can't fix that kind of stupid.
Yep.
That's another level of stupid. That's thousands of years of stupid. Thousands of years. I mean, let's talk about it. At least 600 years of stupidity. You're trading people for alcohol and mirrors.
Yep.
What level of dumb are you? You got to be. That's dumb shit. In 2026, you still got 10-15% deals with countries. You fuck y'all. There's no fixing this. You can't fix this kind of stupid.
Yeah, what you call it? The same looting I've said this all the time. I said, look, the looting started hundreds of years ago. The Europeans show up on the coast. Now the same thing is going on right now, just that they do it different with high tech and computers. Looting. You know, before they used to loot that continent for people. Now it's for everything, for natural resources, markets, whatever like that. So it is what it is. What are we gonna do? We get online, we talk our stuff, but like I said, like if Baruti gets in here and tells me that Colin, what we need to do is this. I said, no, what you need to do is talk to half these millionaires and billionaires I just named and see if we can get a crumb. If every one of those people I mentioned gave 1% of their wealth to us, we'd be on our way, right? But
Yeah, we would.
you can't get a nickel out of these dudes. Julius Malema is worth half a billion dollars. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought he was some poor righteous teacher and shit. I'm like, damn. So there's people that got money, like Cyril Ramaphosa. He's worth $5 billion. President of South Africa, he's worth $5 billion. I'm like,
Yeah.
Zuma, the former president of South Africa, he the highest grade he been to? Fourth grade.
Yeah,
He's worth
he's
$4
rich as
billion.
shit. And Kyle, he deserves, I hate to say, he deserves that money, man. That's his money. I don't give a damn if they still at this point. Don't be surprised if I become a Nigerian politician. I'll start looting too. I'm taking the money too. Fuck it. The money's there to be taken. It is what it is. Cadola, I know you getting some money. Let's all get some money together. Fuck it. Because at this point, you can't help stupid. It's a hard pill to swallow. When I look out around and I say, God damn it, my people are stupid. We are stupid. I know I kind of realized, and we punks. I realized something. I used to be really against like Martin Luther King and all of that nonviolent shit. But then at the end of the day, I had to accept reality. Black people scared of the motherfucker. I think King knew that shit. He learned that shit over time. These niggas ain't wanting to fight. But goddamn it, you ain't gonna fight. Well, we gonna have to be nonviolent. Maybe that inspire your ass so you won't be scared.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, you
there's
really can't help us. You can't help us. It doesn't matter which one you want to pick. You had violent, you had non-violent, you had pro-black business, integration business. You had it all, and you didn't want to participate in none of it. You can't lead the people like that, Colin, unless you're a dictator. And unfortunately, we're not in a position to be a dictator. So we just have to deal with what we have to deal with. So, Colin, enjoy Liberia and get as rich as you can, brother.
Yeah, my
And please don't be sending no workers to walk no bitch home. If she can get there on her own, she can go home on her own. God bless her heart. You never know. You might go. You might try to help that girl. She might set you up. You don't know.
I thought it was going to tell a nice story of me being a gentleman when oh man, you need. Let me tell you, when people are against you, they're gonna find everything in the book. Oh, you should have did this, Colin. I did nothing. I brought the girl a drink because she was sitting there by herself. I felt bad. If I see a girl sitting there and see a guy is one thing. One thing I hate is I do not like seeing women being humiliated. That's the way I feel like. Women should always. It should always be like that. Even like and I hate to say this, right? But even a big girl, I see a big girl at a bar sometimes when I know anybody trying to talk to her when I'll send a drink over or how you doing, say hello to her, make her feel good about it. I did that one time. This big girl when I was in a bar, I forgot what it was. I was drunk anyway. But anyway, she was sitting there like, you think you're gonna get me and whatnot? I was like, I was gonna say, since I'm just being nice, whatever like that. But me and my brother was there. We were acting like we was actually trying to get with her. But she felt so good about herself. Like, yeah, see, I got all these dudes, they just after me and whatnot. This and that thing. Well, we were just like, oh, that's she adorable. A little chunky little thing. And well, we made her feel good. We didn't say, look, bitch, you a fat bitch, blah, 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 blah. We made her feel good about herself, man. We wasn't no harm. no hurt or whatever like that. Sooner or later she'll get her reality check. We did our part for that night. I never forget that shit. She was like, "Oh yeah, well I got things to do. I got these men. I got all these." Oh my god! Well, that's what throws me back to that last night. The girl's kind of cute too. But I was like, "But you're too young." I was like, you don't come sit with me. Just
Yeah,
here, there's a drink.
Kyle, I think you what your 50s. Just too young to you. 25. Come here, girl. You alright.
No, not me, not me. I'm
Come
one
here,
married.
girl.
One married, and second, I'm like, yeah, look, there's nothing. I don't really. We ain't got nothing to really talk about. I like, not really. On that level. I just gave her a drink. Being nice when I, being nice, being a gentleman. Like that. Hopefully, I thought I was gonna get people saying, "Yeah, it's a good thing, Carl. You're a good guy."
No, no,
Oh,
that's a good thing, Kyle. That's a good thing. Because that was
but
in
Ella was
America. I feel
like,
like, Kyle, you tripping. Don't get that girl no $5 drink. Fuck her.
if she was, which you should have said that. Well, yeah, I know I'm married. I can go look. Let me tell you, even though I'm with my wife and everything, I still have a relationship with women. I still talk to women, like not talk to like that, but I still hello, how you doing, stuff like that. So I guess if I see a woman and she needs help with her groceries, I can't talk to her because I can't help with her groceries because I'm married. No, it don't work like that. You can be cordial to people. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like that. People always think you got some ulterior motive and shit.
Yeah, you're a good man, Kyle. God bless your heart.
I try
All
to
right.
be,
Yeah.
try to be, try to
And
be a
Tim
good
Paulie,
guy.
let me apologize to you, brother. Plenty of times you have said 85% of black people in the world are useless. And I would always disagree with you. Well, my brother,
Apologize.
you have one over me. They're useless. I don't know. We use them as cannon
Yeah,
fodder, put some bombs on
what do
them,
you
and
think
then
about
send them
that?
to the white people.
Yeah,
They're useless.
what do you think about that? What got me mad was that Houston thing that happened. I was so fucking pissed. The Houston rodeo. I'm like this. Black people just fucked that. I mean, one thing I like being over here is I really do believe the problem is America because Liberians got no type of money like Black America. They got a lot of Liberians with nice cars, everything here, and stuff like that. But they're nowhere near on the level of Black America. Black America is like far gone. I look at what happened at Daytona Beach and shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? To the point where I don't even tell nobody I'm American. I don't even say that shit because it's embarrassing now. I'm embarrassed when I see that shit. They destroyed that shit, man. What these females look nasty when I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll cut collar. And nothing bothers me more when you look at some of these like when they have like these little these university campuses, they have these cheerleaders and shit. They got these these big ass megaton women walking
I know
around.
black. They
Fuck
don't
is,
even
are
hold up.
you
They don't have
dumb?
a weight. Black cheerleaders squad don't have no weight requirements, no look requirements, nothing.
None of that shit.
They
And,
do
and why
anything.
they always got these gay ass niggas up in these damn things? Like, what's wrong with
They got
y'all?
the dudes. They got the husky hyenas. They do everything else. And oh, you go, girl, on that dude. The girl does not need to be on cheerleading squad. She should be in home economics, learning how to cook. So she can get a husband. It's like you go to white children's squad, they're all slim, and you know what I'm saying. Black children's squad,
They
man,
are slim and then say, I mean, you can't be a fat girl in the white chair squad. You're gonna get
no.
criticized. They're gonna make you
There
feel
was one.
uncomfortable.
There was this one case, right, where there was this one fat chick going around. She was like an activist, psychologist, whatever. She said she tried to change it because she said she was shamed when she was a kid and made her feel a certain way. So she tried to stop this whole body shaming on cheerleaders thing. And then I saw the result of it. This is back in like the 90s. There was one chick, they said they had a fat girl on the cheerleading squad. And then some people were saying, well, maybe that's what she was there for. Then the kid was saying, well, all kids deserve participation. You remember that. you know. And she was making the case. Then when you looked at her, she goes, "Well, I felt a certain way because those girls made me feel inferior." So she made her life's work to get the fat girls on the cheerleading squad. You know, just that the black community just took it to the extreme. Like there ain't no rules. You know, you could be fat, nasty, and right when that, and you could be on cheers on black. Ain't no standards when the black, you know, because they don't care about what we think. Black women
They
don't care
can't
about.
have standards. I mean, standards. They're above standards.
Well,
Standards is
black women don't think they have to keep themselves up for us because it's like, where else you gonna go to? That's why they hate passport bros. How dare you go overseas and get a
there.
free?
You go get you a beautiful, fine skinned Asian woman. God damn it, go get them. Go
How
get
dare
them. Matter
you
of fact, I'll
leave
buy your ticket, nigga. Go get them.
us? And I remember one
Who
time
cares?
these brothers that went to Thailand. This girl that went to Thailand, and guess what? These sisters got it was no, it was Colombia. These sisters had got on a plane and was out there. And they're like, "Oh man, what the hell? These big women they out there, and they're in the club like we're making sure we heard about this place." They went all the way to Colombia to cock block these niggas. Man, that shit was so fucking funny. These dudes like, man, why they out here? Whatnot? You know, they went all the way to Colombia to mess these guys up. Yeah, that shit was so funny. They be showing up in Thailand and whatnot. You know, yeah, what y'all doing over here? Whatnot? Y'all should be home paying my bills. You know, my light bills due, my storage bills due. What y'all doing over here spending your money on these Asian women, these black women? Oh man, she's so
Man,
fucking
that's
funny.
crazy. You know what, Kyle? I was listening to this I forgot what it was. It was like an interview with this Jewish leader, and they were talking about how after the Holocaust, they immediately recognized that they needed their own country. That way, what happened in the Holocaust will never happen again.
Hold on. The thing is though, they were talking about that. Theodore Herzl was talking about that. You know where he got the idea from?
Liberia,
Liberia.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, Liberia.
But,
Theodore
yeah, but
Herzl
they've
was
seen
friends
it.
with
But
every
Tyler,
my black. You know,
they
he
came up
said,
with the idea that since this happened to us, we need our own country. And as long as any other country says they want to attack us, they want to kill us, they want to harm us, we're going to go and take that threat serious. Therefore, we kill you, and we don't care what happens in that case. So, with that way of thinking, I'm low key jealous of the Jewish people because in my mind, Black America, Caribbean nigga, you was slaves for about 400 years. We lost way more people than these motherfuckers ever lost.
hold
We
up,
ain't
but you
got
try
this
to
mentality at all.
you try to
Oh
tell people
yeah,
like
that's when I knew
Magnesium.
we were fucked.
That's why you talk to people like Magnesium. Oh, America, don't go nowhere, college. Get the fuck out of here. You know,
Fuck you, me don't go nowhere.
I look at the mood of white America. We're not too far from a fucking real massacre in this country. You know, they could do it if they wanted to. It will stop them. You know, so we have no defense whatsoever. If they ever attacked us, we have no
Nothing.
fucking.
I mean, at the bare minimum, every nigga in America should own a gun, legal or not. I don't care. Everyone should own a gun. Everyone should be training how to shoot. We can't. You can't trust the
Every black
American.
person,
You can't trust the American white man.
every black person should have a passport. Every black person
At the
should be trained.
bare minimum. But we so stupid. We so stupid.
These people, the stuff I'm hearing now online is the same rhetoric that led to the Holocaust. You know, these people that believe there's a supplanter that basically wiping us off is the answer. Wiping Black America off the fucking map. They want to replace us with these other groups. You know, we're all alone, man. You know, we are fucking all fucking alone in this. You know, if they want to attack us, whatever like that, is not a
But
damn thing we
Carla,
can.
I don't blame any other group. Now I see at one point I would get mad. Okay, y'all Hispanics, y'all don't stand with us. You Black immigrants, y'all don't stand. Who the fuck should stand with us? What the fuck, bro?
What gets
Stand
me
with
is
us for what?
because the bottom line, they're not going to go against white America for us.
I mean, goddamn. With all due respect, Kyla, I'll give us this credit, Black America. We have survived in the world with the white people that the rest of the world fears.
Yeah.
I'll give us that. That's the only credit that we deserve. We deserve
Yeah,
that credit.
and we
These
thrive.
are
But
whole
look,
ass countries scared of that
despite
American white
everything,
man, and we got to
check
live
this
with
out.
these motherfuckers.
And we're the only minority group that produce billionaires with the American white man. No Asians never created no billionaires in America. No Hispanics ever created no billionaires. We did it. We survived in this fucking hostile. Right? We produced black excellence here. Now I'm saying to myself, what if we had our own nation? Imagine what we could do if we
I
had our
mean,
own.
we'd be lit. We'd be lit, but we too stupid, unfortunately. It's very painful. Makes a nigga want to cry. Like, goddamn, we really just this bad off. And I try to be as
I
positive as
wish black
possible. And I just be like, oh no, we got the future is bright for us. We got this. We in the middle class overwhelmingly. And in the grand scheme of things, we are fucked. We are fucked. I know you don't want to hear 1776. Where you at, nigga? You all right. It's about time to go ahead and acknowledge white people. Y'all not Thanos. Y'all just a little bit short below God at this point. Y'all earned that shit. How y'all managed to fuck the world like this? You guys have pulled it off.
I think this time in Iran, I think they fucked up. They think what you call Donald Trump went out there with Iran. I thought he was gonna be this guy Pete Hegseth was fucked them up. These guys, I think they underestimated Iran. And the conflict there that could drag on. They want more money. They already spent $1 trillion. They want more money. Where's all this money? I thought we didn't have no money. Remember it said Afghanistan?
There's always money for this kind of shit. And Kyla, I think, you know what, when it comes down to Iran, for the most part, I think if they put boots on the ground, they're gonna get mollywopped. I mean, this is, and I'm conflicted because I understand why Israel will want to bomb these people. And I haven't seen any Black American be killed yet. One Black American get killed by Iran. Fuck Iran at that point. But I cheer for them only because it's against Donald Trump and fuck him too. Fuck all of them. Fuck all of them.
Yeah. Which call these motherfuckers? Launch this war? Now you get the Strait of Hormuz.
Kyla, I'm so mad. The way that they leaders getting like picked off, like nigga, I mean, pick somebody off back at least. I mean, damn, pick someone off. They kill your leader, you kill their leader. Pick somebody off. Y'all can't pick nobody off. I mean, goddamn.
Well, they did. Somebody said they killed Netanyahu.
Man, I pray they did, and if they didn't, they should try to. At this point, just suicide bomb. If that's what you got to do, go do it. But if you can't, I mean, come on, man, y'all can't get mollywop that bad. I mean, this is bad. This is bad. I don't care about anything else. Just the way they're getting picked off. Imagine us claiming Africa, and Paul Kagame gone. Tinubu gone, all the African leaders, everyone left and right are getting picked off, but we still like, yeah, but we still fighting. Nigga, what? No, we at least got to get Macron now. We got to do something. We can't just be taking the L after L after L. At some point, that's gonna break you.
Our situation is that we were brought. That's what's unforgivable. We were brought across the fucking ocean to this planet. That's what the whole thing. If America was centered in Africa and we was on African soil, we wouldn't have these problems, but we're in a whole fucking other continent, and that's that, and that vantage point, right, where the white man has control over everything we do, the communications, the shipping lanes, everything like that, the infrastructure.
We don't have anything. We can't do
anything.
nothing.
We have no control over nothing whatsoever. So how do people think they're gonna fight a war behind enemy lines? That's what I don't understand. You think, oh yeah, the white man don't understand. Look, the bottom line is this: until you make Africa, what gets me is this: you see how big the continent is, right? You got whole sections of Angola, Zambia, Congo.
All these places just unoccupied land,
Why?
and
Hold on. Why
everybody
is
wants
it?
to live in the city.
I just talk about a small territory. Oh, there's no land. Kidola. Nobody's talking about land in Nigeria. You know, these motherfuckers act like, oh man, you take us. What does they got to do? Like you know, talking about me in Liberia. What the fuck do you got to do with me being in Liberia? You know, it's like these motherfuckers think we got no place in Africa, and we're telling them I don't have to ask for nobody's permission to come to Liberia. You know, and I tell you in all respect, right? I don't give a fuck about the native Liberians. You know, I'm here because my ancestors built this country, and if it wasn't for my ancestors came here from America, this place would not exist. You know, I can see it all the time in the architecture, the way the roads are built. You know, even when you walk country, you know, you feel like you're in the rural South. You know, everything like that. The way the old section where I live at Newport Road, you could tell it looked like a friggin' old Southern black suburb from back in the days. You know, and I'm saying to myself, this is how the American Liberians live. You know, they had nice houses and everything like that, compounds, everything like that, all throughout the country. This place is incredible. You know, Liberia was like ahead of the rest of the black race. You know that? If you see, you can look at architecture and say, just imagine people in the 1930s. Like, damn, man, that must have been a nice street, a nice neighborhood back in the 30s. You see the buildings, you see the houses. I said, people must have been living good back then, you know? That's what you see when you come to Liberia. Every time I drive to a section of Liberia, Monrovia, I just imagine how it was. Because some of these buildings are really old. Imagine how people were like in the 1950s and 60s, you know? This was like heaven. This was nothing short of heaven on earth, you know, Liberia. So,
Yeah, now it's gone. It's gone to the weirdos.
yeah, the native people took over. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But the bottom line, they can never kill that spirit, you know? They can never kill that spirit of the love of liberty. The love of liberty for us, you know?
Yeah. Shout out when you get back to America, you become rich as fuck. You become super duper 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 rich.
Hopefully.
And you live a good life, and hopefully other people, God bless their hearts, they try to build the Afghanistan. But get rich.
Yeah, the bottom line,
Super rich.
the only way in Afghanistan will work if I become fucking a billionaire.
You got to become a savage, Skylar. I thought about it. I thought of it. Now, I had this idea of starting the country years ago. The only difference is me and you, we just have two different ways of doing it. Mine is start off from the bottom, marry a whole bunch of women, raise children, get them in politics, start some kind of ground revolution and overthrow these dumbass people. And yours is try to network and get some land and build from there, build a base camp. We both got the same ideas. I'm just more of the crazy person that says fuck that, fuck y'all culture, fuck y'all people. It don't ask me if it meant Black America having a country. 50 million Africans have to go. Bye all of you. I don't care. You didn't care when you sold us. I don't care about you now. But
yeah, Kidola. Oh, but you gotta understand the shit.
I don't understand shit.
I don't care about your fucking chiefs, you know.
Fuck your chiefs, fuck your kings, fuck all of them. Everything that y'all overwhelmingly value, that bullshit couldn't protect Africa. You couldn't stop white people. You need to put that shit in the trash can.
Yeah, I said that also. If it couldn't protect me, like people talk about Ubuntu, Ubuntu ain't good. I wouldn't be in America right now, you know. Like Rudy got called. Why you call yourself an American? Because I am.
We are American. I mean, motherfuckers that be like, man, I'm about to go back to, I'm about to practice IFA. Nigga, they got colonized too. What the fuck does that mean? It didn't protect them.
People
you used voodoo. It didn't protect you. No matter what you use, it didn't work.
IFA was a corruption of. It wasn't even a real religion. It was a corruption.
Ain't no damn religion. I mean, these IFA niggas was selling each other when the oil empire was falling.
voodoo wasn't a real. People don't realize voodoo wasn't an African religion. Voodoo was something that came out of the experience of the French and the Catholic Church and I don't know Christianity, Catholicism, whatever. A lot of people don't even know African culture and history. Calabar was not really an African civilization. It was a fucking was like a Creole, like a Negropeans. Same thing with Luanda. That was a Portuguese fort. You know, and then
Lagos.
Lagos. That was not no fucking African culture. That was a Creole culture. Stuff like that. So people, Lagos, Nigeria. All these
Africa ain't
places.
got these niggas ain't got no culture. The way of life is putting on leaves and wearing
What you
flip
call
flops and doing booga wooga
the
dances.
homie was just nothing but a French enclave. That was all French. The homie was French. I don't know if the Woman King got that right, but the homie was actually a French culture. Made of mixed race people, mixed culture people who were educated in the West. And they participated in the slave trade.
Yeah.
These people
Carla,
not.
I love our ancestral grandparents, but they were dumb too. I mean, the idea that they had this wedding tradition because remember I'm getting married again at the end of this year. I'm inviting people. I even pay for your flight tickets. Just come. Jumping the brew was a big part of Black American tradition, and in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck does this represent? Is this our cult? We jump in the dirty ass broom. And what is African? Oh man, oh God, let me not even think about it. Kyle, I'm ready to go on to be with the Lord. Fuck. We are just so down and out.
Right.
God damn it. I was talking to a relative of mine. So I'm like, yeah, man, you got like what, 8 kids? You should really get life insurance, bro. Like, man, I don't need no life insurance, man. Like, nigga, if you die, I'm not helping pay for your funeral, nigga. You alive right now. Get life insurance and make sure your family is covered. I mean, like some of us think we never gonna die, Colin. The number one guaranteed thing that's gonna happen is we gonna die, and we don't want to even protect the children. My God, we just not a forward thinking people at all.
People don't think about that.
I feel like I'm an outlier.
People don't think about that. People don't think about that. Death and leaving legacy behind and stuff like that. They don't think about that shit. So,
we don't think about nation building. We don't think about community building. We don't even think about family building. We're not building like that.
Everything in Black America is fun and games until basically something happens, and then basically everybody gets shocked. Like, how are they
Actually, Kyle, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want. See, it's not good enough. Apparently, it's not good enough for white people to hang a nigga every now and then. Okay, so what I want is like I seen from the Alabama brawl what happened in Cincinnati and other places. White people attack black people for some reason. We get inspired. I want them to. I might have to go and pay some white people to bust a move on us, and then we'll be inspired to do some shit. Because apparently, unless white people are attacking us and we can see it, we ain't gonna do anything.
If they ever match the rhetoric, because they're all on TikTok talking about we got to train for a race war and all this kind of shit like that, blah blah blah, and all this nonsense and whatnot. And I'd be like, tell them, when are y'all gonna fucking act on it? One guy came up with TikTok saying, "Yeah, white boys, I know you're out in the woods. Y'all been out in the woods training for a little while. When is this so-called race war supposed to pop off? We're getting antsy here, White boys have been training for race war for the last 30, 40 years.
We need the race war. The race war, that's the only thing that's going to unite us. Without the race war, we pretty much
stagnant. It was a race war, and the bullets start coming out in America. People start dying and whatnot. That would correct everything, That would correct everything, Then what you got to do is don't let these fucking people. What happens is they usually get these kumbaya people to get together and everybody, oh no, we got to cut. No, I think we passed that. Like I said, this one white guy tried to call my show. Colin, I would like to. We have nothing to discuss. The thing is, with me, we have nothing to discuss. When you say there's nothing to discuss, there's really nothing to discuss. They always want to call me and like, oh, Kyle, I want to discuss this about you people, and we have nothing to talk about. I think Malcolm X did a lot of talking. Stokely Carmichael did a lot of talking. All these people, Farrakhan
Dollar
did like
Muhammad did a lot of great talking.
yeah. So yeah, a lot of people thought I am not for talking. I'm about doing. I don't want to talk no more, especially in front of white people. We have nothing to discuss. Nothing. You know, you guys don't fucking. All I want is my own land. Get the hell out of here. And the bottom line is safe passage. I think America owes us that. You know, the bottom line is no way. Look, 500 years of looting and chaos, right? We have no military. We're left with nothing. We don't have a constitution of our own. We don't have a military of our own.
We
We have
have
nothing of our own.
absolutely. We ain't even got a paramilitary group. We ain't got nothing, Carla.
We have absolutely nothing.
And at this point, it's only bestowed upon me to be the world's greatest hater. I hope everyone get their ass whooped. I'm rooting against everybody at the moment.
I would love
If
to
y'all
make
don't
me
support our
easy.
mission and having our own country, fuck your country. I hope they bomb that shit too.
When you got people like 1776 and Nakmeezy talk about America bullshit, another race of people has like Pete Hess said, what the fuck did me and him got in common? He's a fucking white devil,
He's
Donald
a real
Trump.
devil. The way that he be talking, the way Trump be talking.
Oh yeah, Pete Hess. I saw a thing where he walked past a black guy, military guy, right, and didn't shake his hand. I saw that shit. I was like, wow.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, he walked around like this, You talk like you got an organized people like you're not Somali. No, we're Black Americans, and we're Black nationalists, bro. Faculty, whatever your name is, we're Black nationalists. This is a Black nationalist platform, right? The Black nationalists are back. We always said from day one we want to land a nation of our own. That's the end game. So our bottom line is this. So all you freaking people who don't believe we have a nation, man, y'all can go to hell. That's what you're up against.
You're not Somalian. Thank God we're not Somalian. If we was, we'd be trying to find our way to America anyway. Wouldn't make a difference.
Somalia. Who cares about Somalia?
So, Somalia.
Look at me in Somalia. They got that two big coastlines.
They got their own. They got their own. These countries, they don't deserve their own country.
You see how huge Somalia is? It's bigger than Kenya. They got two huge coastlines. Yet you're in America. They one dude got brought back to Somalia. He's in there crying. That's not us. They took and dumped us in Liberia. Look what we built. It's in us. It's in the Black America to build. Even during slavery time, you know how many towns Black America erected in this country?
A lot.
Mount Bayou. We built our own towns. I've learned in Allentown, California. We erected towns all the time. In America,
all over the place. And white people will come destroy it because we couldn't protect it. I don't even think we tried.
We are organized, bro. We are organized. We got to be organized in the mind first. We got to be on the same page, Well, we're not organized because you guys got a lot of people running around talking stupid shit about FBA and all this kind of nonsense.
Your people are not organized to do nothing. Your people are scattered and don't even agree with each other. Yeah, that's the rest of the Black world, bro. That's the rest of the Black world in a nutshell.
We agree on this platform.
I was arguing with some people on TikTok, Carla. They were arguing. There was even some dumbass African immigrants, and they were like, Africa is not poor. We are one of the richest and wealthiest places. And I said, Black America, whatever y'all worth in Africa combined, we got that alone. And that's what you niggas sitting over there on gold, diamonds, oil, everything that matters. Y'all got cobalt, y'all got it all. And that's all y'all worth. I mean, god damn, the level of stupidity that you have to reach to claim that as a success. At this point, I wish Africa had no resources.
You
They
know,
don't need no
actually,
resources. They don't have no resources. They have to figure some shit out.
people exaggerate Africa's resources. You know,
Oh, of
you got
course they
countries
do.
like Chile, they got just as much nickel, silver. And Mexico is rich in resources too, rare materials and everything like that. You know, and so Africa is not all the place what people crack it up to be. Certain things like coltan and diamonds, Africa has a lot of. You know, but some other areas like even Russia got more gold than Africa does.
Well,
You know.
all that gold and shit. It's real. It's really bad. I went to Jamaica. I just got back to the States, and when I was in Jamaica, I'm just looking around like everything that matters is owned by other people, and the black people there are just fucking stupid. They got more non-black people in power in elected office. Look it up. Than they do actually black people, and you're the majority
Jamaicans
of
are
the
always
goddamn island. How is that possible?
Jamaicans are always online projecting their failures on us. You ever notice that? It was Black America this, Black America that. I'm like, these people are just annoying. Yeah, I'm fed up with immigrants. Really, I am.
I mean,
Well,
I've never seen something so horrible
the
before.
average
Yeah,
Jamaican has no access to his beaches.
they don't. They don't.
They can't even see their own beaches. So I'm cut off on that. It's like, well, yeah, they
And
always
and
online.
and the women over there, there a lot of them. The niggas over there are just disgusting. I mean, goddamn. We were not talking about Nigeria, but oh yeah, they got child brides and they do this in Jamaica. The men they go after the boys, they molest the boys. Like, what's wrong with you, sick motherfuckers?
I
Like,
don't know.
I done came to a conclusion at this point. I'm down to become like 17. I hate being black.
I won't go that far, but I just hate niggas. I hate niggas.
God damn it.
I hate niggas, man. Really, I do. You know, I hate
I'm sick of
niggas.
this nigga shit. I remember I was watching this video of the police arresting this black girl, and for whatever reason, she was just screaming out, "I hate being black. I hate being black." And I cried because of that video, Kyla. Now I'm just like, man, I'm so sick of white people, and I'm sick of this shit. I mean, at this point, if we don't crash out, we ain't got no hope. We really ain't got much of no hope. We ain't got Africans are too stupid. Caribbeans are too stupid, and
Yeah.
majority of us is stupid. We're not too stupid, but we're stupid. We're intelligent enough to say, well, if you hit on a black person and we see you doing it, we're not going to just sit there and do nothing. But in the rest of these countries, they sit there and do nothing.
Mr. Cat's mad at you. He says, Jonathan, you need some sleep. He must be a Jamaican. You know?
Jonathan, you need some sleep. Yeah, I need some sleep. Can you imagine? I'm in Jamaica, stressed the fuck out because I'm looking around like niggas ain't shit. Like Jamaica, there's more Jamaicans in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom than there is in Jamaica. Y'all should have built paradise a long goddamn time ago in Jamaica. But you're so stupid and Pan-African. We need to help the bitch. Build your own country first. You got one. Build that motherfucker up.
Black America ain't got shit, so we got nothing.
Y'all blessed. How the hell can you go to the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, have way more people outside of Jamaica than in Jamaica? You got access to all the resources. You got pounds, you got dollars, Canadian dollars, you got euros. And your dumb ass, it didn't come to your mind. This is how unorganized these motherfuckers are. Y'all could have easily went back to that island and bought up every goddamn thing. But you so stupid. You abandon that shit. And don't even try to build up the damn island. But you want to brag about Jamaica. Fuck Jamaica. I mean, goddamn. And I love Jamaicans. I'm not hating on Jamaicans. Just gonna have to deal with some honesty here. It's very painful to me because I'm like, man, all of this.
Oh, they always brag.
And then I gotta go back to Nigeria and get prepared for the stupid shit I gotta see there. I mean, at this point, I just like, God damn. Being black is hard. I mean, at this point, God, is this a punishment? How did we become like this?
Well,
How did we become like this?
I'm trying to make it down a little further south to Namibia and Angola. You know,
I need to be around black people that says white people are the devil, Arabs are the devil, and the Jews need to go. I need to be in one of those countries.
that's Zambia. Zambia is like that.
Yeah,
Zambia.
well, I guess I might. Well, I need me a Zambian
Zambia,
wife. Let me go get
Zambia,
me a
Zambia
Zambian
is like
wife.
Zambia and Namibia. I got a lot of BAO people in Zambia and Namibia, and they are racist as black nationalists as you can get,
Yeah,
especially Zambia.
Jamaica got a lot of minerals in the ground, but they too damn stupid. I mean, oh my God. I mean, when they say Jamaicans are like Africans, they are. They give their country away to everybody. Everybody non-black, including their own kind. The Chinese
You
can
guys
have it. The
see
Arabs
the
can have it.
Chinese.
Everyone gets to have. Everyone gets to have
I seen
everything.
a Chinese girl, and she was speaking Jamaican. Yo, man, and I was like, so I'm a Jamaican. I was like, so basically anybody can be a Jamaican. I seen a fucking Lebanese with the Jamaican man, sound like Icon Fire. You know, you feel me? You know, I see a Chinese doing the Jamaican accent, and they're all Jamaicans, man. Like,
They all Jamaicans.
all right,
The
damn.
first time I ever realized Jamaicans don't really have a country. They don't have the black people there. I mean, they're in the
Yeah,
majority, but
yeah.
they don't rule it.
Like we use Chinese, like you said it. She goes, everybody, when they think of Jamaican, you think of black people. She goes, no, I've been on this island just as long as the blacks. I'm Jamaican just like anybody else. I'm like, damn. 'Cause I always
Yeah,
had this
I
thing.
found that shit out when I went to Belize. When I think of Belize, I used to think of that one rapper that was with P Diddy, and then you go to
Oh,
Belize, you see all the.
Shine.
Yep, you go to Belize, you see all the niggas in one section, like it's fucking Jim Crow, and they can't make it up the damn. They can't get nowhere. It's like wow, okay, man. They had one
Yeah,
black president. They never had another one.
I heard like Belize is gangland. It's dangerous.
Oh, it's hella. Oh man, they bloods. A whole bunch. No, I mean everything bad. Listen, I give Black America credit. This everything bad the world has adopted. They have took it on. They call themselves Bloods and Belize. How the fuck
I
you?
thought Belize were
They
Crips.
got gangster disciples and BDs and Belize. How is that possible?
You know where they got them to? The Virgin Islands.
Yep, yeah. Everything bad from Black
Yeah,
America. They took that
U.S.
shit on.
Virgin Islands
In
have
Black
so
America, we
many
did the same
blood.
thing. We took the hood ratchet bullshit on from them too. Before them Caribbean girls came to America, Black American women were sluts and hoes, and I ain't gonna say he wasn't that bad, but come on now, we wasn't like wild, butt naked, booty
A lot of that
twerking
stuff
type
comes
shit.
from the island. That island
That shit
culture.
came from the islands, the backwards ass islands. They came and they infected our women. We think of all of them hoes rapping in the '90s, all about sex and this and that. None of those girls were Black American; they're all Caribbean.
Yep.
And our women were so stupid they adopted that idea that they wanted to be like the Caribbean girls because the Caribbean girls were selling. And so they decided, okay, well, we got to be nasty and sluttish too. It was the dumbest decision we ever had. But during that time period, we had what? We had MC Light, we had Mia X, we had Queen Latifah. During this time period, all the
Yeah,
female
yeah. All the
rappers, they wasn't sexual
Queen,
with their rapping.
yeah, Queen
They wasn't
Latifah,
sexual with their rapping, but then you get your
ladies
Trina,
first,
you get your Little Kim, and then you get your
Foxy
what's that
Brown,
one heifer called?
Foxy.
Foxy Brown. All these Caribbean girls. They the only ones singing and rapping about sex during that time period. And they're becoming famous. But the females that are singing about, what Queen Latifah, you ain't a bitch out the house. They wasn't getting no love like that. I mean, god damn it. We really fuck man.
Yeah, our culture. But when you look at them, they always make it seem like they're so holier than thou. These people Korean, they're so holier than thou, and that Black America is the ghetto or whatnot. Say, nah, man, y'all brought the weed and the drugs over here.
Oh, Eddie Harris. 100%. The overwhelming majority of divestors are not Black American women.
Yeah.
They're not Black American women. Ain't no Black American woman going straight up die hard on Black men like that. Now, at the end of the day, our women are stupid too. They stupid too. They trifling too, but they ain't that stupid and trifling. They take it to another level. You go to Jamaica. I mean, look at the marriage rates over there. God damn, y'all got a whole damn country, and still don't want to get married. Y'all just hoes. Fuck. Yeah, Darmingos, they Black American. They from Cali. We got some divesting ass bras. I got some divestors in my goddamn family. I got a cousin. Oh, my stupid ass cousin. She gonna sit there marrying a white guy, thinking her life was gonna be better than it was because niggas, apparently niggas cheat too much. And I admit, I'm a certified cheater. I asked my wife. She said today, you just don't have no self control. Everybody, best friend, sister, blah blah. Yeah, girl, I'm a hoe. I get it. I understand it. So my cousin, she thinks she gonna be a diverse and she gonna marry some white dude. This dude can't even maintain a job. Kelly, I mean, get a goddamn white guy that can maintain a job, bitch. You in poverty with a white guy.
Black girls be having professional jobs taking care of white boys.
I mean, she taking care of a white guy. Now, shout out to the white guy, man. Him, we went gambling a couple of times. I said, man, my white guy, bro, you got a gambling problem. You need to call 1-800-ADDICTION for gambling because you gonna lose all my cousin's money. And then her little sister was inspired by her to go ahead and have a baby with a damn. Well, he ain't white, but close enough. And I mean, oh God. So yeah, Domingo, you right. The divestor spirit is in California like 100%. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it either. My family gonna take some hardcore L's on that shit. We taking L's. I think I got at least 7 to 8 divestors I can name out the gate that are my cousins. And they couldn't get a white person that was worth shit for nothing. Stupid ass bros. I'm gonna stop calling them my cousins. They distant relatives.
I've seen so many black women, man. As long as you get that light skinned baby, the dude could just absolve his responsibilities.
Little ugly ass light skinned children.
Yeah, they like
it's cold. They turn purple. It's hot. They turn red. Them little ugly ass light skinned children. Let me not say that about my own damn relatives, but goddamn it, you killed my boy. You got some beautiful black children. You want to have some little ugly ass light skinned children. That makes it no offense to all the light skinned niggas in the thing. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. My mama was white, but my daddy's black. Yeah, you a light skinned dirty buster too. Shut up. You ain't Huey Newton. Well, Kyle, I guess I can say it. I've been defeated. With some police have been saying the whole time after being in America and going to the island for a little bit, I said, man, we really fucked.
Yeah,
we are fucked. Let me get as much money as I can, build a mansion, and just say fuck the world at this point.
That spring break in Daytona and Houston, I'm done, man. I am fucking done. The Black America's fucked, you know. I'm done, man. Like, y'all can have it, you know. The black youth is just out of control, you know. What the fuck we do? I have no idea. You know, it's getting worse.
They're screwed. They are screwed.
They ain't got no future, you know. God damn, you ain't got no future, man. It's like, damn, what y'all gonna do? Go back to your hoods? Just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. This country's gonna end up in a race war. I tell you, that's what's gonna happen.
That'd be the best thing that ever happens. I'll tell you. At this point, I want nuclear. I want World War III to pop off. I want the Great Reset. And oh, well, that reminds me. We have the Great Reset. It ain't gonna be no African countries that rise on top. We're gonna be bowing down to what, some South American country or some Asian country. Because Africa's too stupid to have gotten this shit together. The whole world can have a great reset right now. All the Western and Asian countries and the Middle Eastern countries, they can nuke the fuck out of each other. And after all of that's done, they'll still be more developed than Africa.
Yeah, I don't know what the Africa's gonna do. It has no weapons. Anyway, brother, I'm tired, man. It's like real late over here. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Get your sleep, brother. You have a good night.
Tomorrow's Friday night. I'll probably do a show tomorrow night too. Find a good topic. All right, y'all take care.
All right, good night, bro.